Ready? Play.
Hello, everybody. Welcome again to this watch along. Apologies for being a little late and getting this up and running. This is the second watch along for the day, and it is the third men's quarter final featuring Daniil Medvedev and Andrey Rublev. And as you can see, Rublev's got off to quite a cracker of a start. Went 3-love up, no time, dropping just 1 point. However, Medvedev's got himself on board, and things are getting a little interesting here, as you can see, with Rublev at love 30, um, serving 1-3. So let us know in the comments who you think is going to come through this one. For some, it seemed like a foregone conclusion just because of the head-to-head matchup. Jake here says it's going to be Medvedev in 3, which seems like a pretty bold pick as things stand. In any case, we just hope for a cracker of a contest, as we always would. Let me just pull up the stream and do my part, of course. And as you all may or may not be aware, John is currently traveling, so he won't be here for some time. We should have company soon. We should have Tom joining in some time, not very long from now. In any case, well, this is looking like a pretty good return game here from Medvedev. Love 40 here. Get the break right back. Oh, and Medvedev's gotten the break right back. And as you all probably know, historically, this is not a very good matchup for Andrey Rublev. It is 5-2 for Medvedev in the head-to-head. Although Rublev has won 2 of the last 3, he did not win a set until Rublev first beat Medvedev in Cincinnati in 2021. And for those of you who probably know the context, Rublev was trailing, was 6-2 first set, and then the second set was 1-all, and Medvedev just ran into a camera, injured his hand, lost it mentally, and lost the match there. And that was the first time Rublev even won a set. Second time was in Turin last year, where Rublev played an amazing match to beat Medvedev, who, safe to say, he was not himself. And yes, Ria, the camera incident, precisely. It's not himself, I don't think, even though looking back at Medvedev's run in Turin, so to speak, last year, he lost all of them in deciding set breakers, 2 points away in each of the matches. I would say 3 points away against Novak, serving for the match against Tsitsipas and Djokovic, lost both of them. So he's come a long way from there. He was not getting anything going since he hurtled down significantly since that Australian Open final loss. Dropped to, I think, end of the season at number 7 or number 8. Dropped out of the top 10 after going out early in Australia. Since then, I mean, all back to normal for Daniil. He's back firmly in the top 3 now. Qualified for Turin just a few days ago. So yeah, things looking good again for Medvedev since then. And of course, he did beat Rublev in the final in Dubai. not close at all. 6-2, 6-2. I don't even think Daniil faced a break point there. So this even though Rublev was kind of off to a flyer, we can see that Daniil's gotten back on even pegging already. On return, first serve from Rublev. Medvedev goes 15 love up. I may be a little behind the score. And yeah, Medvedev's just gone 30 love up with a very nice backhand on the line. 91 mile per hour second serve. There's Martina Navratilova on the stands. Hi there, Jane. Nice to see you. Yes, Medvedev broke back just a couple of minutes ago. Rublev got off to a flyer. 3 love up, dropped just 1 point. And doesn't now if you watch the match, you wouldn't see any traces of that really because Medvedev is firmly back into this and easy hold from Daniil. Just even things up at 3 odds. So may not be a straightforward match either way, to be honest. But yeah, and these two played at the same stage at this tournament 3 years ago, where I remember it was quite a dogfight. Medvedev won in straights, where it was 7-6, 6-3, 7-6, something to that effect. And I know that Rublev had a bunch of set points in the first set, and the third set also got a little tricky. So it has been a battle when these two have played for sure. And Medvedev mentioned this too. When they're playing each other, it is intense out there. They want to beat each other badly. Off the court, great friendship. And that's kind of what we've been seeing. Rublev, of course, is the godfather to Daniil Medvedev's daughter. Could Daniil's double fault become an issue in this match? It could if he does. Honestly speaking, he's been serving decently well. And there's Naomi Osaka being shown right now. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be an issue. He served well in this match against Diminor. And Rublev has to pick his spots very smartly. Yeah, I see Medvedev's already committed a couple of double faults here, but yeah, we'll see. I mean, if he shrugs them off, then here's Tom. Great to see you, Tom. How are you doing?
Hi, Shahari, mate. How are you doing?
I'm all right. Rublev got off to quite a cracker. I don't know if you noticed that, but in terms now. So
yeah. So you tell me about what's happened. What have I missed? I saw. Did I see Rublev? Sorry, I was rushing about. Did I see Rublev 3-1 up, break up, obviously, and then as Medvedev, just brought it back a little bit. Is that right?
Yes. So Rublev he got off to a 3-love start and he dropped just 1 point until then.
Wow,
and then from there,
okay.
Yeah, so it was quite a start from Rublev, and everyone thought, oh, okay, this could be interesting. But things are back on even terms now. Medvedev played really well following 3 games to get the break back. He played an extended turn game, held easily to love, and now Rublev himself held to love, and we're 4-3 on serve.
Okay. And have I missed any incidents? I see Ria is talking about some sort of camera incident. Is that maybe from the previous match?
So I was basically taking everyone through their head-to-head, and I was mentioning the first time Rublev beat Medvedev. That was in Cincinnati a couple of years ago, and of course, I think everyone knows the incident with Medvedev ramming into the camera, injuring his hand, and one thing led to another. He lost to Rublev. He also capitulated a bit. So yeah, I think Ria was just bringing that memory back while I was going through this head-to-head, because basically it wasn't. It isn't a great matchup for Rublev, although he's won 2 of the last 3. There is context behind those wins, of course, but yeah, generally speaking, people would usually pick Medvedev over Rublev 9 times out of 10, I would say.
And what about you then? There's the $1 million question then, Shrihari, and I was just about to ask you, where does I could possibly ask you 2 questions. Where does your head put the winner, and where does your heart put the winner? Or it could be the same answer for both.
I think it's the same answer, honestly. I'm fairly confident that Daniil gets this done. Of course, I'm rooting for
Okay.
Medvedev manifest, but I think, yeah, this is again quite a comfortable matchup for him. And as long as he's playing well, which he is, he played very well against Dominor in, I would say, set 2 onwards, or midway through set 2. He started to play excellently, and he got into his other zone altogether, where like he was not missing. He was belting winners from every corner of the court, and he was serving really well also, which is what we want to see, because he's had these double faulting issues that have gotten progressively worse, if you want to say, over the last couple of years. I would say since last year, the confidence is not just about the same on his serve, but if he can keep all of that together, I I wouldn't. I would fancy, of course, Daniil winning this one.
Yeah, I mean, I've got to be honest with you, Strahari. I did a pre-match or a pre-tournament show with Damien the night before the whole shebang kicked off, and I didn't have Medvedev even getting as far as this stage. I did think de Minaur was going to take him out, given their previous matchups, recent
Mhm.
matchups, the matchup itself, in terms of thinking it was going to favour the Australian. Have you been? Have you watched a lot of Medvedev here at this event? And have you been impressed just as I have?
Yeah, especially in that Dominor match. I mean, I was definitely concerned when he played O'Connell and didn't close it out in 3, but he again kept it together well to finish it off in 4. The match against Baez, I don't think the
Yeah,
scoreline is a good reflection of how good Baez was in that match, and Medvedev himself said it, even though it was 6-2, 6-2 in the opening 2 sets, or the first 2 sets. It was a lot tougher than that. And
yeah,
against Dominor, obviously Dominor got off to a flyer of a start, and didn't Medvedev also struggling with the humidity, called for the trainer, and yeah, it was, I think he was in a couple of sticky situations as well in the second set. I think 2-all and 3-all, down 15-30 or 30-all, and from there, I mean, he just went into this other territory altogether. He hit this purple patch and he played just excellently. And Deminor also, just, I mean, he was clearly getting worn off physically, and that helped too. So yeah, I was really impressed, and I thought, okay, if Daniil plays like this, he should get to at least a semi-final, and who knows what happens there, because I'm not too confident for if he plays Alcaraz in the semis because
yeah.
of what we've seen so far.
Yeah, I mean, it all rests on tonight, doesn't it? Like, Alcaraz and Zverev. Before we kind of touch on that, I mean, I was looking beforehand, in the potential. Let's just say the impossible happens in Zverev. Does take out Alcaraz and plays Medvedev. Medvedev has got a 9-7, lead in terms of their matchups, their head-to-head. And then you're potentially looking at Medvedev getting to a repeat of the 2021 final. And, I mean, given that 2 weeks ago and Medvedev having pretty much no form, I mean, I know that there's a lot of if, buts, and maybes, all right? So there's a lot of things that need to go his way, and he needs to probably have some luck along the way. But, Medvedev, given, as I said to you, I pretty much totally wrote him off. I thought, the potential of Max Purcell could have even taken him out, given Max Purcell had been decent in a few. Obviously, never eventually met Max Purcell because of Christian O'Connell. But, and then I looked at Baez, I looked at the de Minaur, and I was just like, Medvedev isn't getting, anywhere near this event. And now I'm sitting there looking at him going, do we have a potential? Can he repeat the achievements of 2 years ago? But anyway, I understand there's 2 major hurdles to come, maybe 3, for that to become a reality. So,
Yeah.
but I just wanted to kind of back here and say that, in terms of the players that he's been drawn against, he has, come through it, fairly comfortably. I know that there's been a couple of hairy moments, but I think he'll be chuffed to be in this stage against his old foe. Well, a foe in Rublev that he likes to face.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. And then, just as you mentioned, if Zverev just does pull off the miracle, again, there is one part where you could argue that Medvedev has owned that matchup against Zverev, won 9 of their last 12. That is a pretty significant lead since, I would say, 2019, since both players were on the same level. Because before that, obviously, Zverev peaked a lot earlier and they played 4 matches when Medvedev was in the top 40. So it's been a better indication, so to speak. And then Zverev has won some important matches too. Like recently in Cincinnati, he won that. It was a tight one and he won.
Yeah, you saw his reaction after that when he knew that he'd because he lost to Medvedev, I think 3 times already in 2023. So there was a big outcry, a big roar of emotion when he eventually kind of saw that one off 6-4 in the third.
Yep, and but in any case, it's still 9-7, and if Zverev, I don't know if Zverev beats Alcaraz, to be very honest, because that match would have taken a lot out of him. And I know that Zverev is 3-2 against Alcaraz, and he also beat him the last time they played at the Slam last year at RG2. I think all of our surprised because we didn't expect.
Definitely.
Nobody gave Zverev a chance there, especially after that Madrid final that they played. But he played out of his mind and he won that match. But here, however, things are quite different.
Well, I remember Alcaraz has obviously beaten Zverev already again this year, but I remember that match. And there'd been so much hype that was properly the weeks just leading up to that match. That was the Alcaraz beating Nadal and Djokovic on clay. In the pre-match or the pre-tournament events, and then I remember that that kind of hype of can anyone stop Alcaraz from winning this French Open title, and then it just didn't happen, and I can remember it was fairly comfortable for Zverev in that match at the French. I think
the first 2 sets, he was 6-4, 6-4, and he had a break point to serve for the match in the third, but Carlos the third set, and then Zverev served for the match in the 4th set. By the way, Medvedev is just broken, so he'll serve for the opening set. Quite a dramatic turnaround from what we saw.
What we'll do is, Strahari, what we'll do for the next game where he's serving it out. I usually ask when I'm doing the stream if there's anyone out there on the stream listening and watching myself and Strahari, if there's anyone who basically cannot get to a stream, cannot get to a television, can't watch it on their phone and needs me to give them blow by blow, point by point descriptions of what's going on. Rublev, by the way, what is he losing his cool for?
I don't know what exactly was going on. He's just
it's very hard when there's no commentary. I'm watching it here in silence so that I can concentrate.
Let me try to catch what happened there.
You have a look at that. I'll just kind of take us through where I believe we are. So obviously, hi guys, hi Ria, hi Jane. Hope you're still with us. Jake is here. He's got Medvedev in 3. Jake Davies, a regular chatter on the Talking Tennis stream. Just a reminder, guys, just anybody who basically can't get through it, let me know. I think Nick a couple of days ago couldn't see the Alcaraz Arnaldo match, so I basically gave him the description of the points. So let me know. Otherwise, what I'll do is I'll kind of describe a couple of points, and then me and Srihari can get into whatever else is happening in the tennis world. Before I go into the Medvedev serving for the first set, which should really take the steam out of Rublev, and he's obviously not happy about something.
I think he got a time violation. I think because I could see the clock going down from 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Maybe he's not happy. I'm not sure.
Right.
And Medvedev is walking to serve. And he's also saying something to the umpire. I have no idea what's going on.
It's obvious. I mean, obviously these two guys are very good friends. I think Rublev was it his daughter, Medvedev's daughter, getting christened recently. These guys are good buds. But I suppose when they step out on the court, all that friendship. Because I always like Medvedev and how he tries to wind up the other opponents. I think it was actually against Zverev, who we were just speaking about, and maybe Rome, where he started taking apart the net cord. And I can just remember just chuckling at that.
Oh, that was Monte Carlo, yeah.
Was it Monte Carlo? Right, okay,
yeah. He double faulted, and then he just removed the stick holding the net.
I just remember Zverev's face. Like, what is this guy doing? So I'll talk us through this one. Medvedev is just serves. Well, Rublev is walking on my stream. I thought that one was a little bit long, but the scoreboard showed me 30 love, so he's 2 points away from the first set. Let me know, guys, if this is just already the kind of death knell for Rublev, or if there's a way back. Medvedev usually quite a decent leader, and he puts a forehand into the corner, and he's got 3 set points. Strahari, I think Matthew de Souza is informed as of what is going on. And he's saying a 1 minute rally, and then before I know it, it's 2 seconds left on the clock. Any truth to that, Matthew? Myself and Strahari were chatting all things Zverev Carlos there at that point. Medvedev just double faulted on his first set point. Rublev actually fist pumps the air. So you weren't far off, Strahari, in terms of a time violation or a time dispute, shall we say.
And he closed out the first set, 6-4.
Yeah, I was serving pretty well.
I joined. I mean, I remember I just got off the previous stream, which was Sabalenka and Qinwen Zhang, and then I was getting some things in order, and then I see a message in the group. It's like, "Oh, Rublev's here to party." I'm like, "Wait, what is going on?" It's like 3-love, and dropped just 1 point, and I think Daniil's going for a bathroom break here. He's taking his clothes in his bag to just change. So yeah, that happened, and I was a little shocked. And from there, he's won 6 of the next 7 games. That's impressive.
Okay, I don't know if you answered this earlier, Strahari, but Ria is asking, okay, but what happens if Daniil plays Alcaraz? Is there any hope for that matchup? I'll quickly kind of jump in and say, until this event, I was under the impression that Alcaraz had totally broken Medvedev in terms of their Wimbledon semi-final. It was more or less like Medvedev didn't know, had forgotten, what his style is, and he just maybe lost faith in his style. That's what I thought pre-tournament. Obviously, Medvedev has found a little bit of form again, and again shut me up and proved all the doubters like myself wrong. But yeah, does Alcaraz have a chance if that is the semi-final match? Does Medvedev have a chance against Alcaraz if that is the fact?
Because at Medvedev, I think you can match his words to the kind of player he is. So he says, some days you feel like, you feel great on practice, you feel great during the warm-up, and then things don't click. Some days things slowly start to click, and then some days it's not your day. Like when he lost in the first round at RG to Zybot Wilj. Again, that's what he mentioned. He felt like he didn't play too badly, but then he still lost, and then there's some moments where he felt like he couldn't do anything. So that makes sense if you put that in context and see that he's been quite a streaky player, right? He during a given stretch of an entire season, you're gonna find him out of form or out of color during some parts of the season. He may make quarters or semis. That's about it. And then there are these other stretches of this other stretch of a given season where he looks like nobody can lay a glove on this guy. No one can beat him, like he did for most part from after losing the Australian Open. I think Rotterdam to Miami, it was only Alcaraz who beat him, and then everyone thought, okay, it's Carlos. It's the court is really slow. Conditions are not favorable for Medvedev. They're favorable for Alcaraz, and that's why he got that result.
Yeah,
and then we know what happened in Wimbledon when we thought, okay, Medvedev would be helped by the surface and the court speed just to get some free points and make it more competitive. At least it was another blowout. So what I think about this is, and me as a Medvedev fan, I actually do want him to face Alcaraz, and I wouldn't hope for a scenario where, unless it's Sinner, who I also like. I had Sinner beating Alcaraz in my bracket. But I wouldn't root for anyone against Alcaraz just so that Medvedev gets to the final. If I want Daniil to lose it, if it's to Alcaraz or Djokovic, there's no shame in it. And at the same time, I do want him to have a crack players like Alcaraz, who it seemed like a nightmare proposition playing against him. The last if the last two matches or anything to go by, but considering how he's been playing this tournament, considering the history he has at this tournament, and the
Yeah.
we want to be a little optimistic as to maybe give him a set when they do play. I think Robbie Koenig said that when he was asked, I don't know by who exactly, when he was asked if Medvedev can do any sort of damage if you were to play Alcaraz, he said if there's one court where I think he can beat him, it's this court.
Arthur Ashe.
Arthur Ashe, exactly, just because of the success he's enjoyed at this tournament. Um, and then also I think that it's surface-wise probably the best surface to suit his game, and the court as well. I mean, he has so much space on Arthur Ashe Stadium, so much run back space as well. I mean, that's something we saw in Madrid when he lost to Karatsev. He was also complaining about the court being sort of slower compared to the main stadium.
Yeah.
Everything may just come into fruition for Medvedev at this particular court. And even if you go back to 2019 when he got destroyed by Nadal in Montreal, he took him all the way to a fifth set in the US Open final.
Yeah.
So it can happen. I mean, it can happen in the sense that it can be a close match. Who's the favorite? Of course, that doesn't change. It's Carlos Alcaraz. But I just think that we may need more matches. I mean, if I'm fairly confident now that this is a bad matchup in general, but I don't think all is said and done and that Medvedev is just not going to have a chance at all to beat Carlos. I think.
Yeah, there'll be moments. I'm sure he'll have chances. I think there'll be moments, and it's just whether or not either Medvedev can take them or Carlos Alcaraz doesn't pull out something miraculous as always to combat anything. I was going to ask you, Srihari, have you got the pictures back? I was just wondering. I don't know if you maybe call me a cynical journalist, but I was just wondering. Rublev was awful angry at the end of that set, and Medvedev was serving for it, and then did serve for it. So he knows that Rublev, and he knows this guy's temperament. I wonder if leaving the court. I'm sure there was probably some sort of toilet. Excuse me, but I just wonder if there was any maybe him going. I'm going to let him stew and get more angry and angry and angry.
Maybe. I mean, it could be a tactic. I mean, these two know each other so well from juniors.
Yeah.
So it could very well have been a tactic also. And I think also, to be fair to Daniil, I mean, he can, while he is sometimes known to veer into this gamesmanship where he's not exactly breaking the rules, but he is doing things to rattle the opponent.
Get under the skin, get in people's heads. That's what he's all about.
It could be, and or it could backfire, and maybe this break would have helped Rublev, because let's say okay, they get the changeover time is a minute and a half or whatever between sets, and Rublev.
Well, I think Rublev has just made the point to the umpire, how long was he away there for? And there was a almost ironic smile on his face just before he pulled out the first serve of the second set. We'll quickly concentrate on that. The players are currently exchanging forehands. Medvedev now at the backhand from the ad court to ad court. Rublev, they're moving each other around. Rublev forehand up the line. Medvedev now backhand cross court. Rublev backhand cross court. Medvedev forehand down the line. Medvedev another forehand down the line. This time backhand up the line by Rublev. Forehand by Medvedev cross court. Backhand cross court. This was one of the longest rallies of the set so far, or the match so far. Sorry, as they're still going, a drop shot attempt by Medvedev. It just makes it. Rublev couldn't get there in time. It was almost pinpoint accurate. That went from Medvedev, and Rublev is just getting angrier and angrier by the point. And this is exactly where Medvedev wants him.
Yep.
Good point there by both players there. So just Medvedev making his move and timing it well. Next up, I was going to ask you about Sabalenka. Now, I didn't get to see any of this, Srihari, and you mentioned you were on the stream earlier on. Was it just a fairly comfortable day at the office for Arena?
Yeah. No, I mean, Kinwin didn't even have a look at a break point
right, okay.
match, so it was just really smooth sailing. I think Sabalenka dropped barely a handful of points on serve. Um, and even though Kinman was sort of trying to get her teeth into the second set, there was a game, I think 2-1, where she had a 30-all opportunity. Yeah, Sabalenka was just too strong, too solid. Um, yeah, it was not close at all. Yeah, the last game got a little sticky. I think Sabalenka was 15-30, but she closed it
Yeah.
up.
And so who wins the ladies then now for you? Now the dust is settling. I know we still have a quarter-final match to come, but in terms of who's left, have you got? Are you going Coco Gauff? Are you going Sabalenka? Mukova? She got a shout. What are you thinking?
I think it's fairly open at this point in the sense that we know Mukova is now sort of a pet peeve or nemesis of some sort for Sabalenka.
Sabalenka, yeah.
Twice already. Cincinnati, was it? Cincinnati and RG, as we know, saving match
Yeah,
points.
since it's Roland Garros semi-final, and it was pretty much
Yeah.
the exact same match. I think Sabalenka won the first set in both of those, if I'm correct.
I think Mukova won the first set at RG, and then Sabalenka drew level.
Right.
And then she was 5-2 up at that match point. And yeah, from there she just loses something. Then she was up a set in Cincinnati, and then she lost there.
I remember watching the third set of that one, and Mukova really just kind of took the pace away with her depth. Like she kept going to the slice backhand, pushing Sabalenka back, and then was coming coming into the net really, really well as well. And I think she actually set up a match point where, certainly one of the stronger volleys I've seen from her in the past. So I was impressed by her. But then obviously the final Gauff was fairly comfortable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Mukova and Gauff again, repeat of the Cincinnati final, which was a fairly straightforward win for Gauff. But I don't know what it'll be like when they play each other here.
Well, I think she's riding a bit of a wave though in terms of the New York crowd. That certainly for me just kind of feels like it's written in the stars for her here. I might be corrected. I might have just put a nail in her coffin, but who knows? We're on Deuce on the, as you can see from the scoreboard on the screen. Deuce on the Rublev.
Yeah, Rublev actually hit an excellent first serve, and Medvedev was just scrambling. He hit a lob, but the smash went straight to Medvedev's forehand, which was deep enough to force the error from Rublev. And Rublev's not a happy chap right now on the court. These two are characters. They don't shy away from showing how they truly feel. Brutally honest people.
It's funny. I was in Alcaraz Arnaldo on the stream on Monday, and then Nick came on and he was watching Rublev and Jack Draper, and I think they'd went one set all, and I just asked straight away, what is Rublev's temperament right now? And he just went, he's lost it. So I think that's just like, unless Rublev has a straight setter, he's going to have moments where he just totally loses all composure. So yeah, now you can see there, Medvedev just forced a break point.
Yeah, another error from Rublev. Also, I think Rublev, if you watch that match in Turin that he played against Medvedev last year, which he won, he played really well. I mean, he gave Medvedev nothing on his own serve. The only time Medvedev broke was when Rublev, I think, he served for the first set and he got broken. Then Medvedev could hardly lay a glove on his serve other than that. And you don't see much of that here. We're not seeing, I think, also a lot of it is probably to do with Medvedev just playing a lot better right now, a lot more confident, and the level is much higher too. But if I were Rublev, I don't know, I'd probably look back at that match and he clearly had a game plan that worked, and Medvedev just missed that backhand, so it's deuce. Rublev saves a break point.
I think
you're a bit behind, I guess.
No, I'm just on you, just behind you now.
Okay.
I think Matthew De Souza again has kindly put a message in. He's talking about Novak must be thankful for Medvedev being on the other side of the draw. I think that's why Matthew, a few of us said that it was pretty much a dream draw for Novak in terms of missing all the people, all the players. And
he definitely got fortunate to get Holger, Rune, or Ruud as his potential semi-final opponents rather than Medvedev, because let's say he had the prospect of him coming through Medvedev and Alcaraz, That's
I mean, that's us saying that there's, and I don't know how many there is for Alcaraz, mind you, but I was just saying that's us saying pretty much there's only two players in men's tennis that can really, especially in New York, that
what
can
a backhand from Medvedev.
cause Novak any problems. And wow, there we go, just seen exactly what you've just seen. Really impressive Medvedev. I think he's in full flow now. And this will be a big blow if he can.
So if he, when you watch him playing this aggressively, I would say he is also counter punching, but then he's able to pull the trigger well. He's able to inject pace on the ground strokes. It makes you a little optimistic for if he plays outdoors, because the biggest, I should say, minus for him, the biggest disadvantage is the lack of his own power being generated there, which the likes of Zverev, for example, can do. Oh, that's gone long.
Oh, and wow. Okay.
How did he miss that? Anyway.
Well, it was rifled at. I suppose he was rifled that one at by Medvedev. Well done for Medvedev for getting up to the volley, I suppose. What I've noticed, Srihari, so far, and I don't know if I caught the stats at the end of the first set, but I believe Medvedev's serving really well, is he not? Like, he's had a really strong first set in terms of his serve. I know he lost the first serve. Well, there we go. We're seeing 62% of his first serves have been unreturned on the screen as we speak. It was almost as if I timed that perfectly. Is that something you've noticed in terms of like throughout this event that he's made? Because I remember him talking pre-event that he'd actually he was a wee bit worried about his serve and sometimes it would work. Sometimes
the kick serve is so bad. I mean, the kick serve out wide. That is. I mean, I just wish he abandons that altogether, because I remember before that, like the serve, which was the slice serve, worked a lot better as a second serve option. He never had the best kick serve, and it just got progressively worse. And that Zverev match in Cincinnati also, really bad double faults, and that double fault at 4-all basically decided the match because Zverev held from there.
Yeah. I'm going to check some of the stats then while we watch Rublev with the first point on the Medvedev serve in set 2. Of course, already a breakdown for Andrey Rublev, not a happy chappy. Medvedev in the match overall, he has had 3 aces so far, but that is also caveated by 3 double faults. He's had his first serve in. Well, there we go. I thought it was going to be greater than this, but he's down at 58% on his first serves, which is, roughly, you're one about 60 to 70, I believe. But then there you go. When he does get that first serve in, he's winning 87% of the points, which is really strong. And he stepped into the net 4 times, won 2 of those. But then the telling stat is he's collected 3 of the 5 break points that he's managed to carve out, and that's why he's leading pretty strong.
Here we have Ghosty.
Hello, Ghost. Ghost is a bit of a Rublev fan, I believe.
Yep, I think so.
So, he is. What's he saying?
Yeah, sorry, we are at odds today, Ghosty.
Yeah, Srihari obviously firmly in the Medvedev camp. Ghost, who fancies a bit of Rublev. So he's saying Rublev needs to go back to the drop shot and smash. Medi is vulnerable on serve return. I'm so frustrated right now. For the love of James Hunt and baby Jesus, stop this limp asterisk clay rally nonsense. I don't know if the James Hunt is in reference to a conversation we were having on Monday night, but yeah. Okay, Ghost. I mean, it's always good to have Ghost involved, so keep the chat coming. Ghost, how are you doing? That's twice in 1 week. You're getting to see me. What a lucky boy you are. I'll just talk us through the next couple of points. Maybe they're breathing pretty hard right now at 30-all. This might be a little opening here for Andrey Rublev. Now the temperament, now the hothead is maybe cooled a little bit. He might be seeing a little opening because, when let's be honest, when Rublev starts to lose his marbles, he doesn't play as well. So yeah, I think when he just manages to get over the red mist. So here we go. He plays a return right at Medvedev's feet. Medvedev managed to get the rally going though. A forehand by Medvedev, and it looks like it's going to be long by Rublev. It's not. It's somehow stayed in. Medvedev gets back a sliced drop shot attempt by forehand. Rublev gets it back. What a rally this is. Rublev trying to go for it, and wow, probably the rally of the match. And that Rublev
that was an excellent play at the net there from Daniil. The drop shot, Rublev did well to get there, and then that second volley. I mean, that was not an easy one, especially with someone who hardly comes to the net, right? So,
and I think Rublev, did everything right there. I mean, if it was going in, he did everything right. He got to the drop shot in time. He tried to play it back to the way that Medvedev had come, so to somewhat wrong foot him. Most players are going to think that he's going to trying to go across him. So he did try and double bluff Medvedev, but Medvedev called him on it. And now leads 40-30. They're back into a rally, backhand to backhand right now. Forehand by Medvedev. He steps up, another forehand cross court by Medvedev, backhand cross court, sliced into the net. No, it's made it by Rublev, and it's a winner. Well played, Andrey Rublev.
It's back to deuce.
Back to deuce. Mrs. Is probably, am I right in saying, Shahari, you saw the start of the match, but is this probably the most pressure he's put on Medvedev's serve since he broke right at the start?
Yep, definitely. Easy holes from love 3 onwards, which was a bit of a sticky situation here for Medvedev. Missed the first serve, second serve here.
Okay, well, I'll go through this and then we can get back to talking about what else is happening. Hi, Anastasia. I believe Anastasia is managing to battle through the heat.
Right.
2 seconds.
Oh, he's double faulted. The Medvedev is just double faulted. Rublev is a break point to break right back.
Sorry, Srihari. I had a knock at the door, and it turned out it was the dog's tail.
Yeah, you didn't miss much. It was a double fault. So,
so Rublev has a break point, and Anastasia is in the chat. She can tell us what it's like to be. I think
another one. Whoa!
Oh no, he's not lost his serve to a double. Oh, he has twice in the net. And now he's the one not getting happy. This could be interesting. Yeah, hi Anastasia. She is on, I believe, at Arthur Ashe watching this. She can maybe let us know what the crowd, the atmosphere like. Who is the crowd favouring? Is it a Medvedev fan base or a Rublev fan base? Of course, both Russian. So Anastasia can let us know as she is there, I believe. So Rublev having another word with the umpire.
You've got to be a brave person to umpire a match between Medvedev and Rublev. Both very fiery characters, to say the least.
Yep. So Rublev, he's just broken back. He's had him onto the umpire, and he wins the first point with a serve out wide that can only go long from Medvedev. What was I going to say? What else have we got coming up after this one tonight? Is it the it's Mukova tonight, isn't it?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Mukova tonight. Yeah, I'm just checking in on the draws.
Oh wait, you mean the next quarterfinal or?
Yeah, just checking.
Oh, it's Vondrousova and Keys, right?
Right. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Apologies.
Yeah, Mukova won yesterday, so she's in.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. She's playing golf. Yeah. Sorry. I don't know what. You know what? I'm on my TNNS and I'm saying like the scheduled, and it's coming up. If you go into, yeah. All right. I've got it now. Right. Okay. Faux pas by me. Yeah. So Vondrousova later on. Is she injured, Srihari, or like? 'Cause I thought I'd seen somewhere that
Yeah,
her
I
left
read
shoulder was
she
giving
has
her a bit of
some
problems.
elbow niggles, which I mean forced her out of doubles, I think.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. She pulled out of the doubles. Does that put her progression in the singles? Does that put any doubt in for you?
I don't know. I mean, she won her last match, so now I still would pick Keys. I think on this surface with over Vondrousova.
Right.
Uh,
Okay.
but yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, I don't know if she withdrew as a safety precaution or if she just couldn't keep going. But I mean, if she couldn't keep going, she would have pulled out from the tournament altogether. So probably just prioritizing singles at the moment because obviously she's
Wow.
the most recent Grand Slam champion and she
Yeah.
made it this far. I can't think of first time slam. Okay, yeah, Sabalenka backed it up well with the semis at RG. I think Rybakina last year lost early at the US Open.
Yeah.
Swiatek won RG and then made the fourth round to slam after, and same with Krejcikova. So it's pretty impressive that she's made it this far, especially since we didn't give her much. I mean, she had a less than 50% win rate on grass before winning Wimbledon, which is crazy to think of.
Well,
And
back to Medvedev Rublev very quickly. Anastasia's let us know that one, she's a little ahead of the stream, so she's seeing us in the past. So that's fine. That's absolutely. You'd imagine somebody who was actually on site, will be a little bit ahead of us. So fair play. She's telling us that it's pretty even in the crowd in terms of split between Rublev and Medvedev, but the kids behind her seem to be super fans of Andrey Rublev, and they'll be happy right now because Rublev is running off court. I believe, I hope that's nothing medical and maybe just a toilet emergency that he's having right now. But yeah, it seems to me, Strahari, just when we've been talking in the last 10 minutes, that the momentum is shifted ever so slightly back in the direction of Andrey Rublev. Would
yeah,
you
that
agree with
whole
that?
helps. I mean, he got to 30 all, but then played a couple of good points. Medvedev just putting the ice towel, I think, on top of his head. But yeah, I mean that hole will do a lot of favors for Rublev. I think Medvedev again, the double faults are not helping with a serve. With the serve that he has, I mean, he essentially just gifted the break back to Rublev there. So, um, yeah, it's interesting to see if he keeps it together here because we know that he can lose it to an extent that he loses several games in a row. And if you remember that match against Nadal 4 years ago at the ATP finals, from 5-1 up, he ended up losing in the decider. That can happen. Um, yeah,
Yeah.
it's a little strange, right? So.
Well, so he's back out. That was certainly a quick break, a quick off court experience, no matter what it was for Rublev. So fair play. We're back on serve now, with Medvedev now chasing 1-2 down. Of course, he was a break up, but he didn't manage to consolidate that. That was a fairly decent game. It's turning into a really good tennis match, in my opinion. Now, I saw a couple of points. I think Medvedev, just his usual self. There was a cracking, forehand that had a bit of curl on it, a bit of spin on it that caught the very corner of the line, and he put it away on the next shot. But the quality for you, Strahari, are you seeing it, kind of maybe intensify a little bit?
Yeah. And now, Medvedev's hitting some loose shots here.
Yeah.
So he has to be a little careful because, again, Rublev is someone who can sometimes run away with the momentum. He almost did in the first set. But yeah, I mean, this match has basically been about swings because 3-love to 6-4. And obviously, Medvedev went up to break 1-love. And now, it's back on even terms. And Rublev's with love 15 with the second serve 2-1. So Medvedev keeps going, still goes with that kick serve with conviction. Maybe it's just something that he wants to incorporate badly into his game, no matter how much he misses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ghost makes the point he believes that the Medvedev is mugging Rublev off. And the reason why I highlighted this point, Ghost, is at 5-4 in the first set, Medvedev serving for it. Rublev was obviously animated and arguing with the umpire to do with a time count on one of his serves. And Medvedev then wins the set 6-4 and then goes for a long extended break. And the camera pans back to Rublev, who is just sitting on his bench, pretty much seething, because he's been left to kind of stew on the fact that he threw that set away. And I just wonder if that was all gamesmanship from Medvedev at the time, trying to kind of get into his opponents. Yes, he's his pal, but he knows him better than anyone, and he knows he'll be fizzing at that. But Rublev definitely the better of the two players now. Medvedev asking for his box to give him a little bit more coaching, a little bit more help, and Rublev has 3 break points to from 1-love down to break twice in a row, as well as holding this.
Here. So yeah, this. Oh, and he's broken. Is he? Yeah.
The serve didn't look into me, but they played on, and Medvedev then puts it in the net. Rublev totally flipped this one 180, and Rublev, it might be Ghost, it might have just been Ghost. Ghost comes on, he gives him a bit of encouragement, shows that he's his fan, he's a supporter of Rublev, and yeah, that's when Rublev then turns it around. It's a troll genius. I say this with genuine love and admiration, by the way. I just want to coach Rublev with how to nut him and fight back. Let's go. Yes, Ghost, one day, Rublev and you can sit down and you can just say, don't listen to Daniil. Daniil takes the first point, almost.
Yeah, if you saw that point, you can see that Rublev clearly not confident at the net, right? He's there, but he knows what to do, but he's still, again, not confident enough to execute what needs to be.
Yeah, it just seems like every single point that one of the players loses, that they're right onto their box, because, like you said earlier on, Srihari, they're quite volatile characters. Don't like to lose. Not many people do, but these two specifically like to express it when things aren't going their way. Medvedev now, I mean, this match looks like Medvedev, the momentum's just switched again. Medvedev now playing the better of the two. It's almost like a returner's dream.
It's just been sweet. Like a seesaw at this moment.
Yeah, no, it just seems like it's a returner's dream, isn't it? Like the players returning the serve is getting on top of the rally early. They're stepping up, and yeah. So let's see what happens. Saying that, Rublev will probably now go and take out the next 3 points, next 4 points, and win to 30. As Medvedev won the Rublev second serve, inside out forehand by Rublev, a strong backhand then by Medvedev, and a follow up by Rublev. Forehand down the line by Medvedev, forehand back where it came by Rublev, a backhand. It goes for the drop shot again. It's not really well played, but Rublev has messed it up and he sliced one wide. And he was there in plenty of time. But Medvedev now has 3 break back points. And this will be for 4 breaks of serves in the first 5 games of the second set. These guys will be wondering what is going on, just like us. How long is it you're with us, Srihari, until you need to shoot?
What was that?
How long are you with us on the stream tonight? Like until you
probably. I mean, if this match gets done in straight sets, then that's good. But probably another couple of sets, including this one. So
okay, yeah. Nice. I may need to duck away in about 20-25 minutes.
Okay.
But hopefully, fingers crossed, Jack might be joining us on the stream. So we'll see what happens. But yes, so we'll talk us through this one. I'll just keep us up to date just before the changeover. Right. It's 15:40
from Rublev. Oh, it is 30. All right, okay. It's 30-40 now. So Rublev saved it.
Good serve, good pick up by Rublev, and a good volley at the net. Well played. One of the kind of stronger points I've seen him play in this last 10-15 minutes. So decent. So Daniil Medvedev, I mean, tell me about him mentally in terms of, is he the kind of player that just kind of doesn't let this kind of, because I mean, there's 3 chances to break back here. Will he let this get to him? If he doesn't,
from my experience watching Medvedev, he usually gets over such situations pretty well. Or he uses it to his effect positively. He
yeah.
doesn't linger too much.
The
But
first
this
thing that
was
comes to mind
huge.
is the Eubanks quarter final in Wimbledon.
Oh, and Medvedev's just broken back. Rublev's missed their forehand pretty wide. And yeah, that's a good example. The Eubanks one. I mean, he was getting just blown off the court from sets 2 and 3. Like, especially the returns, all of them, to Medvedev's foot, it can be so frustrating. And then the fourth set, it was close, but he kept it together. Any moment, if he capitulated or threw in a loose service game, he was toast, just considering the way Eubanks was serving. So yeah, that was one example. The Indian Wells match against Zverev, the third set. So basically, Medvedev was saving break points left, right, center until he served for the match. He had a match point,
Yeah.
and then he got broken from there. And I think Zverev was 2 for 17 or something like that on break points. And he kept it together. He didn't capitulate. He broke straight back, and he closed out the match there too. The Monte Carlo match, similarly, he had a healthy lead in the tiebreaker against where he had 5 break points during the set, and then he got broken. And Zverev served for the match. He still kept it all together. He played some bold points, especially he attacked quite a bit when he was down match point. Match points, or maybe a match point he was down by. And yeah, so he is, I would say, between the likes of him, Team, Tsitsipas, and Zverev on the mentally stronger sides, because even he can have meltdowns, but he uses that to fuel him rather than just someone like Rublev, who when he's not feeling it on the day, it could be curtains. So
Yeah.
who's also working on it. And I would say this year, if you watched some of his match against Holger Rune, the 2 matches that he won in AO and the Monte Carlo final, those are pretty good comebacks from Rublev. So he is trying to just play within himself rather than imploding. So it's interesting if he can put that to any use here against someone like Medvedev, which is probably the biggest test for him.
And tell me, I wonder if Anastasia, if she's still on the stream somewhere in Arthur Ashe. It would be interesting to understand the conditions there at the moment. We could actually see Djokovic in the first couple of sets last night. Really struggling with the heat. I know it is warm there again today. I think this heat wave is meant to last for 3 days. So I just wonder how these 2 men are dealing with the heat and the conditions, and how difficult it is for the players on court. You can obviously see the sweat dripping off them, but there we go. Anastasia, this is great streaming. Anastasia there at Arthur Ashe has responded no matter the delay, and said it feels like a sweat box. So if this does go 4 or 5, it's going to be a struggle for the players towards moving on to the next round, whoever wins.
Yeah, Anastasia, I have another question. Could be a stupid one, but you are streaming this while obviously watching the match live. Is there internet there, or are you basically using mobile data to stream this? Is my question.
Is this for your next trip to when you go there?
Hopefully. I mean, I was in the US for a few years, never really got to go here. I watched Indian Wells once in 2019.
Brilliant.
I wanted
That's
to go
on the
here.
bucket list for me, so I'm jealous. I'm jealous with that one.
Right. Yeah, that was the biggest tournament I've gone to, okay, fair enough. Interesting. Is that
There's no public internet on the grounds, so surely there's that many people there that they're all trying to use their mobile network. That basically it's a struggle to use. Maybe no.
Yeah, it would be. I mean, I just wonder if it would be
That
quite a
surprises
drain.
me.
Yeah, I mean, much appreciated that you're giving us these details from
absolutely.
front.
I do.
I don't know how Rublev lost that point. He had Medvedev on the ropes, and then just ended up dumping that backhand at the net. So it's 40-15. Should, in principle, be an easy hold for Medvedev. But we know what could happen on some of these service games. Just a couple of double faults and things get...
A little tense for him.
Yeah, he starts to skate downwards sometimes. So let's see.
Okay, so we'll take you through this. It's obviously 40-15. Are you already a little bit ahead? Because I can see the scoreboard that we have at the moment.
It is a double fault, right? So
it's a little bit ahead of me. Yeah, it's a double fault, and that second serve was way down the net. But lo and behold, so let's see what happens next. In terms of the matches are now on 12 minutes long. That first set was only 33 minutes long for a 6-4. That's pretty quick.
Yeah, it got it. Yeah, it progressed pretty quickly. So that was a nice welcome ace from Medvedev, and he's pulls it back on level terms, 3-all. Kind of a deja vu of the opening set, where Rublev was up 3-love and then ended up losing the set 6-4. He was down a break 1-1. Then up a break 3-1, and now it's 3-all in the second set. So Jake says he's switching the match on now.
Yeah, I think he was either listening to our, beautiful tones and taking in the match action as and when we described it, and now he may be either listening to us still whilst also watching the match. Rublev kind of pummeling Medvedev here with some forehands, but Medvedev, as usual, standing up to it. He's now went with a backhand up the court, backhand cross court this time, cross court, backhand to backhand. Rublev goes long, and that's what Medvedev does so well, time and again. He just gets the ball back and waits for you to make the mistake, and that's what he did there.
Yep.
You can see the fans at Arthur Ashe, fanning themselves. The fans fanning themselves because of the heat.
It's sweltering out there. As Anastasia mentioned.
Yeah, I wonder if that's off-putting to the players at all. I noticed it, quite a lot in Washington, in terms of when the players were about to serve. I know it was obviously a lot more compact in Washington than it is here, so maybe the players don't notice it as much. But I remember seeing it, and they've all seemed to have the same kind of fan, and it's a white thing, and the guys getting up to serve, and everyone's just in the background going like that. Just wondered if it would have been off-putting, but anyway, as I said to you, probably with the size of Arthur Ashe, they don't even notice it.
There's a comment I missed from Coast.
Yeah, I saw it, but I thought you should pick it up, Harry, because I thought he's been a little bit cheeky, but yeah, fair enough.
Right.
He's maybe they're now 15-30. Interestingly, I wonder if it's another glimpse because potentially he could.
Jake says Rublev is just clueless in this matchup. He can do some things that, again, if he's in the zone and if he's not missing and he's just blasting winners, and he can trouble Medvedev, but he's playing exactly how Medvedev wants him to play.
Yeah,
which is a problem because this guy is an octopus. Like, he's going to defend every corner of the court.
And what does Rublev have the tools then? Can he do anything? Does Rublev actually have the weapons to do anything different, or is he just a ball striker?
Yeah, other than that, I don't think he does, because he has. There is a part of this matchup where he needs to rely on Medvedev being a little off for him to, say, win sets and win the match, potentially, which has been the case at least so far. When Medvedev is playing well, Rublev has had absolutely no chance in most of the matches that they've played. 5 of the matches that Medvedev won, all of them in straight sets. So, and Medvedev, by the way, has won the first set in all of their matches so far.
Yeah, it's a very, very good spot there. A very, very good spot. Yeah, I was going to say that actually Rublev, to be fair to him, did pretty well there. In terms of
that was a good point. So
stuck with it.
Yeah,
he stuck with it, and eventually managed to see him off.
Really slow seconds of 74 miles an hour. I don't know if that's intentional, because Medvedev doesn't like pace off. I doubt.
Yeah, he likes it to be a pacey ball.
Oh, that's a bad miss from Rublev. He's missed the backhand on the line.
He went for it a bit too ambitious there. A bit too ambitious. That's what Medvedev is counting on. Waiting him out. Wait until he goes for one of these ambitious shots. And we know what happened there. Ghost as usual, using some choice language to describe the way Rublev is playing at the net. He's saying he should make his defend the net. If you can hit winners at the corners, disrupt Medi's comfort, disrupt the rhythm of play. I think you're bang on the money, Ghost. That's my fear, is that Medvedev will run all day. He'll get the ball back all day, and he just wants to wait out for his pal to go for one of these shots. He gets bored. Rublev will get bored, as we see another long rally here. Rublev totally again as usual, pummeling the ball, trying to get it past Medvedev, but you're not going to do that too often. Medvedev's still going. He pulls out the backhand that gets him on the stretch, and as we all know, Rublev goes wide.
The backhand goes wide, and Medvedev is back in front here.
Yeah,
quite a topsy-turvy set this. So Medvedev went up a break, 1-love, and then went down a break 1-3, and then now it's 4-3 up. So players are essentially, aside from the first game, like they're winning 3 games in succession. So Rublev just looks absolutely vexed. Now, I mean, if Medvedev takes the set, you just wonder if Rublev has any will to fight.
Yeah. I think Rublev just there. I just said it. I said it. This is what the tactic for Medvedev was. We know it. Surely the Rublev's team knows it, but the problem is, does Rublev actually have the weapons to do anything about it? And probably not is the answer. And he'll get bored then and just say, right, okay, I need to go for the 1 time out of 10 shot, which he did there. Did twice there, I think, in that whole game. Loses his serve, and Medvedev just sits down going, that's exactly the matchup that I want here. So I just wonder if there's anything else that can be done. I don't think Ghost. I won't highlight Ghost's comment, but I think we can all agree Ghost isn't best pleased right now. I think we're maybe laying into his boy Rublev a little bit too much. So let's all be kind to Andrey for the next 10 minutes before Ghost attacks people with some chopsticks.
They're out for Medvedev.
Oh, okay. Right. So interesting. What is Medvedev complaining about? Is he telling him to go away? No. I think he's maybe just needing some fluids, is he?
Yeah, probably just some replenishments because of the heat.
Yeah. And you see a lot of this in these matches these days. Like, is he pointing to his chest, his upper chest, he's breathing? Okay, so it does seem to be he's having some sort of problem with his abdominal area. This could be a problem. This could, I don't know how worried Medvedev fans, Harry, you being a Medvedev fan, it's something to do with his breathing. So that's very worrying in terms of trying to breathe, playing tennis in this heat. I believe.
Yeah, the thing is, I
wonder how much these doctors about basically say you can't play on. Like if I'm not saying, look, I know I'm going to the extreme there, but if this doctor, this physio came and said, look, listen, I've heard something you can't play on, I wonder how much the player would go, okay, and listen to them. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Just like, whenever it comes to the breathing, I'm always a bit worried.
The inhaler. I think it's just, he's just having those breathing difficulties like he did against Daniil. Should be fine, mostly. Yeah, I think he's all right now. It was a medical time.
Okay. Did you see him earlier was it the Daniil match, or when he said, when the physio came out and He's like, "What do you want?" He's like, "Whatever you gave him," like because he lost the set.
Right. Yeah. And I guess O'Connell, I remember the doctor asked him, what's wrong with you? He said, I lost the set. That's what's wrong with me.
That's what I'm alluding to. Yeah.
That was the O'Connell match. And here, it was just, I think, the usual breathing hindrance that he had, like he did against Domino. Should be fine. He's got him.
Okay.
Let's see. I mean, he's just 2 games away from a 2-sets-to-love lead. So from there, it's just.
Okay. Just having a look at a couple of things at the moment. I mean, somehow the well, there you go. You can see this the US Open scoreboard that you have, Srihari. It's somehow managed to get 3 points ahead of us.
Yeah, it is. Oh, it's crazy.
But we'll concentrate on what we can see. So, Medvedev went long there with the +1, I believe it is.
Yeah. So,
Jake, I will take that praise. One thing I will say is a beer with me can often become more than just one night, one day, a weekend. But yeah, I'm sure our paths will cross, Jake. I certainly hope so. Beer. Jake invited me out for a beer one day.
That's nice.
I believe
we have fun.
Of course, I think Jake's in Wales, so I'm just slightly north in Glasgow, just North Glasgow, Cumbernauld. So yeah, I'm sure one day a beer over a couple of tennis matches would do me. Medvedev brought it back a little bit, but 15-30 just went into the net.
That was a huge forehand from Rublev there. Huge.
Oh, the one that caught the line, just got it. So he's got 2 break points. This would extend the set, of course, for that little bit extra. Maybe, of course, 4-3 up, having been 3-1 down. I believe what has there been out of the 7 games? Am I right in saying there's been 5 breaks of serves?
Yeah.
Medvedev, good first serve, good return actually. Rublev, the serve was out wide. Now they rally. Medvedev, really good forehands there. Pushing him back, not letting him settle. And Medvedev saves one of the break points. He's still got 1 to go though.
Wow.
I'm just looking at one of Anastasia's comments from earlier. I really don't know how they are doing it. I'm sitting there and it's a bit suffocating. Yeah, I think she may be talking about the medical part of the inhaler, and whenever that's my point I was making when it comes to breathing, and when it comes to playing tennis and in that heat, you're always worried. So 2 break points saved by Medvedev. We're on deuce. We've caught up with the scoreboard that would appear. Nice play by Rublev, and a volley takes him to another break point.
Nice drive volley there.
Yep, certainly is. Hour and 25 minutes long. Break point number 3. Rublev really needs this. This is turning into a bit of a big game in terms of the context of the match. Rublev breaks back with back on serve.
Much welcome ace to save another break point.
Clutch 7.
Yeah, Rublev must be being driven mad here because Medvedev really, I mean, even though he's not 100% physically, just had treatment or whatever, he's still, he's bossing this match so far, mostly. Setting a break up, I mean.
Yeah, you'll really want to see this service game out as he does a let with his first serve, I think.
So he'll have another first serve here.
You're probably about 3 seconds ahead of me.
Right.
So
okay. Yeah, I'll keep that.
So let's see what happens. You can talk us through this, Srihari.
Right. Yeah, first serve from Daniil and then another forehand approach shot. He's at the net and Rublev misses the forehand. So it's an advantage Medvedev. He has a game point for 5-3.
Let me find them for you. Insights by the numbers.
Second serve from Medvedev. He goes big on the second serve. 121. Whoa. Okay, so Medvedev is sort of ditched that kick serve. He went 121 miles per hour in the second serve. And another forehand forcing the error from Rublev, or I should say not forcing the error, deriving the error from Rublev. And he is 6-4, 5-3 up.
I'm trying to find the match details of unforced errors for a Ghost. Have you got them anywhere to hand? I'm trying to look on the US Open website.
Yeah, we should have it here on the Slam Tracker.
Yeah, that's what I'm on. But I'm
24 for Medvedev and 18 for Rublev.
Where am I missing that? Oh, God, I'm looking at it. Yeah, you're right. Okay, so there you go. No, I wouldn't trust the TNNS app anymore either.
Yeah, honestly, with the slams and even the ATP, obviously ATP has its own scoring platform too. It's better to, if the interface was not so janky, right? It's just better to use that because that's the most accurate ones that we have.
Yeah.
Obviously, Google does not show winners and unforced errors. I don't understand it. I don't know if the ATP app shows that either, the winners and unforced errors. But
well, that was a really good rally there. Both players, again, pushing the other from side to side in the court. But Rublev, a really, really nice finish to it. Puts it away with a really strong backhand. He's still in this. He could be easily 3 break points missed. Could have just thrown in the towel. But he's still sticking with it. Does that surprise you that Medvedev's got more unforced errors than Rublev, considering what we spoke about in terms of Medvedev just kind of waiting Rublev out and also being a set and a breakup?
Considering Medvedev's play style, yeah, but on the other hand, I think it makes sense because he's trying to be aggressive, so obviously he's going to have more errors. I mean, Rublev has 2 more winners, I think, for Medvedev's compared to Medvedev, but okay, yeah. Medvedev tried to be cheeky there. Drop shot bringing Rublev to the net and then tried to... Oh, is that Michael Phelps?
Michael Phelps, it may be.
Yeah, that is Michael Phelps.
Is it? God, he's got long hair now. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
That's a great spot. I wouldn't see. I'd have looked at him and went, I know who that is, and then not being able to place who it was. So
yeah, I mean, he was the talk of the town, so to speak, in 2008 when he won all of those gold medals in the Olympics.
Yeah. Quite a few celebs there, as usual. New York, draws out all the big names, doesn't it? Although I don't know, did you see the Miami guest
confirms that he's here with Naomi Osaka, 2-time US Open champion.
Okay.
In 20. Oh yeah, Rublev is just he missed that forehand by significant amount.
I was just going to say, did you see did you see the Inter Miami guest list and all the people who went to see Messi at the Inter Miami?
Oh yeah, was that at the beginning of the tournament?
It was just playing. That was like 3 nights ago, and he was playing in LA. So all the celebs like Leo DiCaprio was there, Prince Harry was there, quite a few of them.
Oh, and Rublev's double faulted, so Medvedev has a set point right here.
Okay. So if this finishes this set, I'm going to nip away because that's at 8:30. But are you going to be okay talking through it? That's if Medvedev wins this here.
Yeah.
Because I think that'll be good for you seeing out the rest of the match. And I think John will be along any minute. Either that or Jack will be joining you just to kind of take you to the end. Another serve hasn't made its mark. Is this going to be another double fault?
Wow. I'm sorry I had to spoil it for you there. That was an unbelievable pass from Medvedev.
Well, I'm going to see it now, and wow, right, okay.
Yeah.
And he...
Apologies, I just couldn't hold back on that one because that was just unreal.
That's all right, mate.
Awkward. exchange here because Medvedev is just trying to egg on the crowd, and then Rublev is just chatting away, and then Medvedev is waiting for him to get to his chair. Looking
Well, there
good
you
from
go.
Medvedev here. I mean, Rublev now is going to for a change of clothes. Medvedev sitting comfortably here, and this might be pretty heartbreaking for Rublev. Yet a set away from yet another quarterfinal loss at a Grand Slam. This is
Yeah.
his fourth here at the U.S. Open.
Ninth in total. He's attempting it in his ninth attempt. But listen, I will love you guys and leave you guys. Ghost, keep the head up if your boy Rublev does eventually lose. Strahari, keep it real. I'm sure you guys, Medvedev, Djokovic, Alcaraz, Zverev, all still to come. And there is John, who is just
6
next
out
into
of 6 points won at the net won by Medvedev.
Why doesn't he come in more? Why doesn't he come in more?
Exactly. I mean, so this may be a good precursor to the potential Alcaraz semis, but we'll see. I don't want to get too ahead of myself.
Well, I'm sure we'll talk before then. All right, Strahari.
Yes. All right.
I'll
It was great
now.
having you on, Tom. Thanks
See
for
you
joining
later.
us for as long as you could. A
See you
pleasure.
later,
as
my
always.
man. Bye-bye.
See you. Have a good one. Yeah. Looking good for Daniil Medvedev and fans. Hey, John. John's not here yet. Oh, there he is in the comments, right? I think that means he's touched down on at Lisbon. Rublev just kicked the ball out of frustration. I'm going to take a short break here. I'll try to find a clip to play meanwhile. And I will be back soon. Right.
Thanks for tuning into this watch along. While there's a break in play, here's a reminder to hit the like button, subscribe and click that notification bell. Your support helps to keep the channel going. While we're here, you can now become a member to enjoy perks including badges for the live chat, but also bonus material such as interviews with top players from both ATP and WTA tours. The membership link is pinned in the live chat. You can also follow us on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram. So whether it be serves or volleys, forehands or backhands, serve bots or drop shots, we've got you covered, whether that be via our website, talking-tennis.com, where you can read features and interviews from our top writers. Or if you prefer us in audio form, you can subscribe to our podcast on Apple, Amazon or Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts from. Remember, we offer you wall-to-wall coverage via our regular watch-alongs, magazine shows such as Nick's WTA Weekly or Damien and Mario's ATP version. Plus, we deliver top content from people on the ground, actually at the tournaments, so you get even nearer to the action. So, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on all things tennis. Remember last ball drops? Remember that pretty successful thing we had on during the French Open and during Wimbledon, that as soon as that last ball dropped, we would go live with a review of the day? Well, for New York, we've got something slightly different. It's called the first serve. It may look like last ball drops. It may even appear like last ball drops, but it's on at a different time. Some of you may be thinking, oh, a little bit more convenient, European time, mid-afternoon. Well, you're probably right. Anyway, it's coming your way every day for the next week or so, from probably until about around 4, I would imagine, 3 p.m. Central European time, 2 p.m. British Summer Time, and therefore 9 a.m. in New York, so Eastern Time, will be coming your way every day with a review of the previous day's action and a look forward to the day ahead, all here on Talkin' Tennis. So, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, and see you at 9 a.m. Eastern Time every day during the US Open until middle of the second week, more or less.
You heard from Lord Farquhar himself. Make sure you tune in. The first serve every day, every morning Eastern time. But yeah, let's get back to this match. And Medvedev's got the third set underway. He is serving first, of course. A tire change from Rublev. Would that bring him some better fortune? Who knows? Right. It's 30-15. Daniil Medvedev. I think I have Lego hair, and people may not even notice this, but I had just brushed my hair a little bit because struggling to keep it tidy for as long as I had Tom with us. If you all noticed, hopefully should be fine. Should be behaving well. Sticky situation here for Medvedev. It's 30 all in the opening service game. The third set. He's missed the first serve, so it'll be a second serve. Rublev was big on the backhand. Medvedev's on the defense. Backhand from Rublev. Medvedev tries to go big on the forehand, but Rublev gets it back. They're trading forehands. Oh, Medvedev's got that forehand in. Thought it went long. Very lengthy exchange. Oh, this is some rally here. If we had Nick with us, he would have taken us through this pretty well. Medvedev still on the defense. Wow, and Rublev gets it done with a forehand drive volley winner. He has a break point at the start of this third set. Jane says, can attest, it's brutal. In any case, there's a break point for Rublev. Medvedev goes long on the first serve. So it'll be a second serve for Rublev. Wait. No. The serve is in. Rublev went long on the forehand, so it's a deuce. This is what happens when you watch matches on mute. First serve from Medvedev, backhand to Rublev's backhand to Medvedev's forehand. Rublev's on the defense. Drop shot from Medvedev. Rublev gets there and it clips the net. And Medvedev has an easy put away, puts the forehand away. Rublev just throws his arms up in the air in just expression of being flabbergasted. How do I get through this guy? And it is game point for Daniil Medvedev. And he just saved a break point. First serve was long, so it's second serve for Daniil Medvedev. He's going with the kick serve again. Gets it right this time. Nice backhand up the line from Medvedev. Rublev cannot get that back. And he holds to start the third set from 2-0 up. Are we finally seeing Medvedev as we know him? I mean, yeah, he went on that streak in these best of three events. I think after the Australian Open. Third round exit, he had that run of 4 titles and a final losing to Alcaraz, of course. Won Rome, made the semis in Wimbledon. But yeah, by the way, this win against de Minaur was his first top 30 win at a Grand Slam since beating Stefanos Tsitsipas in the Australian Open semi-final last year. So here he's not very far away from his first top 10 win at a Grand Slam since that. And a 7th at a Grand Slam. 7th top 10 win at a Grand Slam, that is. And this is a level that we're seeing where I'm finally convinced that, it could potentially be trophy lifting. One that will lead to him lifting the trophy, I should say, at a Grand Slam. I mean, it's been a while since we spoke about Daniil as like a serious contender for slams. It's been a while. We may have him in the semis or finals, but nobody thinks of him beating any of these players. Yes, there is a Carlos Alcaraz, I've not forgotten, but if there is a court, if there is a tournament where he would fancy his chances, it would be this one. By the way, we've never gotten Rublev versus Alcaraz yet. That matchup's not happened on tour level, although they played in the Abu Dhabi exhibition. Which Rublev won. Of course, Alcaraz had just recovered from the injury that he suffered towards the end of the last season. Won't read much into that. There's many one Shelton or Djokovic. Shelton. Definitely Shelton. If he wants to win. As far as the crowd is concerned, I can definitely see stages where he goes absolutely ballistic, and the crowd is clearly going to pull more for Shelton. It's going to definitely get to a stage where they're going to cheer on Medvedev's faults, talk between serves, which is probably his biggest pet peeve, as you all know. He uses it to his advantage, though. He does. One of the last players you want to make angry as the crowd or as the audience is Daniil Medvedev. One of the last. You don't want him to, because he's not he can get in his own way sometimes. But I've not seen an instance where the crowd has sort of gotten the better of him. 2 game points here from Rublev. Was love 15 down. He's done pretty well to recover. Return of the first serve goes long from Medvedev, and Rublev holds. And it is 1-all. I have no idea how these two players are going at it with this intensity for a couple of hours now, close to, in such conditions. Rublev. Um, yeah, but if you look at the drop shot, he's so technically shaky from Rublev. He's just trying to connect it. He barely dropped in and got away with it because Medvedev missed that forehand. First serve long from Medvedev. So we say, I wish we had Nick Carter right now. Nobody's better than him than taking us uh, point by point during matches. Nobody really. Rublev is sort of capitulating here. I want to give an astronomy analogy. He's basically like a high mass star collapsing in on himself and exploding into a supernova. Although supernova explosion is meant to be eventful, in any case, this is the first serve. It's a second serve. Is it long? Is the forehand long? Oh no, he's made it in. Heck of a return winner there from Andrey Rublev. Wait, is that in? Paul shown out, but it says that it was in. See, folks, even AI can falter. Whoa, that was a heck of a rally, which Rublev gets the better of Medvedev. It's 30 all. Rublev's making it interesting here. Just try and take a picture of that call. There it is. And it's game point for Medvedev. Nice point there from Rublev. It's back to deuce. Yeah, they both look gassed, I agree. Medvedev just has that much more. I mean, his fitness is amazing. He somehow conditions himself so well. One of the fittest guys on tour, one of the best in terms of endurance. Of course, still, he's good for him that he's up 2 sets. Players mid rally trading backhands cross court. Rublev goes huge inside in with the forehand, and there he is. He has a break point once again. Conditions are brutal. Both players are feeling it big time right now. Rublev has a break point. First serve from Medvedev. Rublev's return lands in. Both players are trading from the baseline, backhand downline from Rublev. Medvedev gets the forehand back. Forehand inside out from Rublev. Backhand cross court from Medvedev. Backhand from Rublev. Forehand from Medvedev. Rublev goes long on the forehand cross court. It was the right play, essentially putting Daniil in forehand jail to put away the shot and go get the break advantage. But he went just long on that forehand, and it's deuce. So out wide from Medvedev. Rublev gets it back. Slice from Rublev. Backhand outline from Medvedev. Forehand from Rublev. Backhand goes long from Medvedev. Following a huge forehand down the line from Rublev. Rublev has another break point here. Both players are clearly feeling it. Oh, Medvedev saves the break point with the closest of calls on that. Was that an ace? Yeah, 130 miles per hour. Oh, not bad. I think that's Medvedev's fastest serve off the fortnight. Very likely is. So away from Medvedev, was that forehand in? Yes, huge forehand from Medvedev. Huge. And yet, oh no, that was clearly in, right? It was so quick that I couldn't tell properly. Rublev again throwing his arms in disgust. He can't believe that Medvedev's painting the lines when he needs to here. That's really making the difference between the two in this match. Forehand goes long from Medvedev. And it's back to deuce. We're in quite a lengthy game here between the two. Yeah, 8 minutes, 46 seconds. But it will be 10 minutes by the time it's done. Medvedev serving. Big serve down the tee from Medvedev. Rublev gets it barely back, clips the net. Big forehand from Medvedev. Rublev goes way long on the forehand, almost hits the back fence. It's game point once again for Daniil Medvedev. Gilles Savara is encouraging him with claps. And come on, get over the line here. Game point Medvedev. It's a let. So he'll have another first serve. He misses the first serve, so it's a second serve. Game point for Daniil Medvedev. Thankfully, not a double fault, but the players are mid-rally. Big forehand inside from Rublev. Forehand inside in, lob from Medvedev. Rublev should be putting this away, and he does. And we're back to deuce. Raise of the racket from Rublev. Interesting words here from Ghosty. I don't know if Clay is his best. Okay, yeah, I mean, I can't argue with numbers. The fact that he has, what was it, 2 quarterfinals at RG. Right. He has a Masters title there. He is, I think, a couple of 500s or one 500 there. No, he won a Hamburg. I would still think that he's better on the hard courts, just generally speaking. So why from Medvedev and then big forehand down the line? You know, if Medvedev plays like this against Alcaraz, we could see a very different matchup because if he's trying to go into the no miss mode and trying to cover the baseline against him, he's toast. He needs to do something on his own terms with someone like Carlos. Um, return to deep into the baseline from Rublev. Oh, Rublev hits the wrong approach shot on the backhand, but Medvedev misses the forehand pass. Back to deuce. 11 minutes and 45 seconds this game. So wide goes long from Medvedev, so it'll be a second serve. Goes wide again. Players mid rally and Medvedev misses on the forehand. It's another break point for Andrey Rublev. Whoever loses this game could be brutal for this set. I mean, battling it out for close to 15 minutes and to lose it would just be insane. Anyway, break point. Serve goes long from Medvedev. Second serve, where does he go? It's a double. And Rublev gets the break. After a 13-minute long service game, or game I should say, Rublev gets the break advantage in the third set. Does he hold on to it now? Is the question. Gets bullied is a bit of a strong term. Okay, in any case, I'm going to take a break. Try to put a clip here. Where? Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, found the clip. Enjoy until I'm back.
Thanks for tuning into this watch along. While there's a break in play, here's a reminder to hit the like button, subscribe and click that notification bell. Your support helps to keep the channel going. While we're here, you can now become a member to enjoy perks including badges for the live chat, but also bonus material such as interviews with top players from both ATP and WTA tours. The membership link is pinned in the live chat. You can also follow us on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram. So whether it be serves or volleys, forehands or backhands, serve bots or drop shots, we've got you covered. Whether that be via our website, talking-tennis.com, where you can read features and interviews from our top writers. Or if you prefer us in audio form, you can subscribe to our podcast on Apple, Amazon or Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts from. Remember, we offer you wall-to-wall coverage via our regular watch-alongs, magazine shows such as Nick's WTA Weekly or Damien and Mario's ATP version. Plus, we deliver top content from people on the ground, actually at the tournaments, so you get even nearer to the action. So, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
And I'm back. Hey, Lena. How are you doing? Good to see you. Yes, Rublev just broke after a 13-minute long game. How long is this changeover, though? Oh, is the doctor back from Medvedev? Means the inhaler shot again. He says he feels better now. That's good to see. Right. Um, it is brutal out there, isn't it? Uh, okay, give us your predictions for this set. Rublev was up a break in each of the three sets so far. Lost the first two. Does he take this set? Or does Medvedev close it out in three? Let us know in the comments. Rublev wins in five. Oh. I don't know what's to become of me if that happens, but I mean, it's interesting. Interesting. First serve goes long from Andrey. It's his second serve. Backhand from Medvedev. Forehand from Rublev. Backhand from Medvedev. Backhand from Rublev. Backhand online from Medvedev. Forehand crosscourt from Rublev. Forehand from Medvedev. Forces the error from Rublev, who goes long on the forehand, and it's 15 all. It's very slow second serve from Andrey Rublev, just 69 miles per hour. And I will let Ghosty and Jane take over with the jokes. Just hoping they both survive this. Yeah, I agree too. Some things that are more important than tennis. And it's a heck of a heat wave there. The US Open in New York City. Not a very slow second serve, 80 miles per hour from Rublev. And you can see the loss in energy quite significantly here from both players in these rallies. Medvedev goes deep with the forehand, forces the error from Rublev. 15-30. No, I'm not. Now that you mentioned it, I've not seen it. I've seen Medvedev. Yeah, he's had some cramps at times. But very rarely is he retired from a match or just like not been able to continue altogether. He rolled his ankle against Zverev in Indian Wells, and he was not only able to continue, but he won the match from there. Such conditions, it's crazy. I thought he was just going to retire and call it quits. But yeah, these guys have some really good conditioning. And Rublev goes long again on the forehand, screams at his box, like, what do I do? 2 break points for Daniil Medvedev to draw even immediately after going a break down following a 13-minute service game that he lost. So from Rublev, Medvedev gets returned back, trading backhands here. Backhand from Medvedev, backhand from Rublev, backhand cross-court from Medvedev, backhand online from Rublev. Medvedev misses the forehand, he nets it. So Rublev saves one of the 2 break points. Yeah, I remember. I think that was from the ATP Cup last year. It was against Berrettini, if I'm not mistaken, and he ended up winning that match also. Anyway, Medvedev is yet another break point here to get back on even terms. Rublev misses the first serve, hits the net, second serve. Is he going to go really slow again? Medvedev standing far back for this one too. You might want to step in. Backhand from Medvedev, forehand from Rublev, backhand from Medvedev. Big forehand inside from Rublev. Medvedev's able to retrieve it. Rublev misses the forehand and dumps it into the net. And Daniil Medvedev draws even. 2 games on. And Rublev has had the early break advantage in each of the 3 sets. 3-love in the opening set. Won 12 of the first 13 points. 3-1 in the second set after going break down pretty quickly. 1-love. 2-1 in the third set. Chances go begging. Medvedev gets ready to serve. Misses the first serve. Forehand goes wide from Medvedev, so it's love 50. So up wide from Medvedev, Rublev. Can't lay a glove on that. 15 all. And I realize I'm a point behind here. It's 15:30 already, yeah? The clay will ruin Runa too. You know what? The most magical part of Rome, Medvedev winning Rome, that is, was that he beat Zverev, Tsitsipas, and Runa to win it. It's quite insane. Because when Runa beat Medvedev in Monte Carlo, I thought, okay, here's another matchup which could be problematic for Daniil. No, but he got the better of him. No. Serve goes long from Medvedev. It's a second serve. 15:30 down. He double faults. No. Okay, never mind. Okay, he goes long on the backhand. So 15:40. Rublev is 2 more break points. Dasha, Daniil Medvedev's wife, is not happy. A huge sigh there and then high roll. 2 more breakpoints here for Andrey Rublev. So wide serve and volley, nice. That is nice from Medvedev. Serve and volley winner. So I got a little distracted. Also, Rublev breaks again. Oh, John's here backstage. Doing all right, John. Just wished his match would get over quickly. Um, could you join us now? Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, please do. Oh, the smiley emoji on Twitch. What is that? Please, that's so creepy. Twitch, do something about your emoji, please. Uh, I've lost my streak on Duolingo, is it? Oh, I can refill it. That's nice. Okay. I'll be back, take a short break, and retain my Duolingo streak, amongst other things. I'll be back with you shortly. John will join you by that time, maybe, or I'll be back myself. Uh,
Thanks for tuning into this watch along. While there's a break in play, here's a reminder to hit the like button, subscribe, and click that notification bell. Your support helps to keep the channel going. While we're here, you can now become a member to enjoy perks including badges for the live chat, but also bonus material such as interviews with top players from both ATP and WTA tours. The membership link is pinned in the live chat. You can also follow us on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram. So whether it be serves or volleys, forehands or backhands, serve bots or drop shots, we've got you covered. Whether that be via our website, talking-tennis.com, where you can read features and interviews from our top writers. Or if you prefer us in audio form, you can subscribe to our podcast on Apple, Amazon or Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts from. Remember, we offer you wall-to-wall coverage via our regular watch-alongs, magazine shows such as Nick's WTA Weekly or Damien and Mario's ATP version. Plus, we deliver top content from people on the ground, actually at the tournaments, so you get even nearer to the action. So, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
Hello, everybody. Can you hear me okay, Ghosty? How's it going? I see that Rublev has a break in the third set. I have seen nothing of this match. For you people in the chat, fill me in on what's been going on. I have just tuned in. I am at 40 love on the Rublev serve. Sorry, Medvedev serve. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, perfect. I can hear you.
Good, good, good.
Yeah.
What have I missed? Tell me what's been going on.
So plenty of breaks of serve is what you've missed.
Okay.
Rublev was up 3-love opening set. He won 12 of the first 13 points. And from there, Medvedev wins the set, winning 6 of the next 7 games, goes up an early break in the second, and then falls a break down 3-1 in the second, and then wins 5 of the next 5 games. And then the third set, of course, Rublev went up a break 2-1, got broken back. Medvedev surrendered the break immediately after. And here we are.
So for the third set in a row, we have Rublev up at a break.
Yeah.
And yet he finds himself 2 sets to love down.
Yeah.
I mean, this is both positive and negative for Andrey in that he's broken not just the Medvedev serve, but the largely the narrative regarding this matchup. I know there was the ATP finals last year. I think it was a deciding set tiebreaker, although Andrey was probably the better player throughout all 3 sets. He just somehow managed to lose the first set, I think, on a tiebreak.
Yeah.
But he's broken that in a way. He's like, look, I can get in on this guy's serve. I can beat this guy over the course of, well, in theory, over the course of best of 5 as well. I mean, there's no reason why he could or shouldn't be winning those sets, unless, of course, you then hone in on the Rublev serve being a part of the weakness.
Yeah, I mean, not just that. It's just that he's trying to out-rally Medvedev, not working. And obviously Medvedev, the better returner of the two, that helps also. But yeah, I think maybe to some extent it's not. I don't know. Gil Gross is not, for example, is not convinced at all that this may be a better matchup now for Rublev. He still thinks that the Cincinnati win was purely because Medvedev lost his bollocks.
Didn't he beat him at ATP finals as well, or am I imagining that?
Yeah, he did. That was last year in Turin, and that was when Medvedev obviously went 0-3. I'm not convinced by that either because I think Medvedev was pretty trash that tournament. He won Vienna. He lost to Deminor and Bercy, and he lost in deciding set tiebreakers in all 3 matches. In Turin. That being said, the Medvedev of that tournament and the Medvedev of right now completely different, in my opinion. I mean, this is more like the Medvedev we know. I see you brought your mic. You didn't make the mistake I made.
I'm just untangling things now. I've just arrived.
Right.
So, can you see a way back though for Medi? I mean, he is kind of, he should 2 hold of serves and he wins this set. So there should be some optimism for Andrey.
Yeah. I mean, if all Rublev needs to do is take care of the serve for 2 games, and he has at least a set. But then it gets interesting. I'm still backing Medvedev though.
You mentioned the return from both players, and you mentioned how, in your eyes, Medvedev has the better return. What does that say for Andrey's return, or am I underestimating Daniil Medvedev's return because I keep watching him play Carlos Alcaraz and having issues?
Yeah, so Andrey, what he's doing is this set, he's intentionally throwing in very slow second serves because we know Medvedev likes to work with balls that have quite a bit of pace on them so he can absorb and redirect well. So he's throwing in like 70, 80 mile per hour second serves. And then obviously he can inject the pace and control some of the rallies, which he's been doing pretty well. But Medvedev, when he's serving well, Rublev's just not able to do much, and he's been pretty good at the net so far, Medvedev. Today, that is. I think the second set, he was 6 out of 6 on points, 1 at the net. And Tom and I were talking about how he could wondering why doesn't he approach the net more often, because he has decent hands. He can play some of these drive volleys well. He's good at these cat and mouse exchanges. So he has, believe it or not, more variety than Rublev does also, and he has more options to bail him out than Rublev does. Rublev just has to pray tell, sort of, hope his shots penetrate enough. And yeah, like sometimes, yeah, in these conditions, bashing, if you want to call it that, can help maybe. But Medvedev still defending really well. And here we go, love 30 already for Rublev. So
I have
yeah,
love 30 as well. Yeah.
yeah. So Medvedev's defending pretty well, and we also mentioned something about temperament. Like both of these players are volatile and they're expressive. They can boil over for sure. But there is one player. Oh, that's what was in. Okay, so it's 15-30. That was an ace. So but there's only one player amongst these two who can sort of still keep it together and sort of use that to fuel them forward, and that's Medvedev. And he just does a good job at that. Even if the crowd's getting under his skin, or if he's not happy with his level or whatever, he expresses the frustration, but he keeps it moving from there. Rublev just, yeah, he keeps hurtling on that. That was a nice bit of play there from Medvedev. I don't know if you saw
Really
that.
nice. Yeah.
Yeah, drop shot, not the best, but it was enough because Rublev was far enough behind the baseline, and then nice inside out backhand. Um, Nicholas, no, we cannot, unfortunately, copyright and all of that.
Yeah, Nicholas, I'm afraid we can't. Please do hit the like button, Nicholas, though, while you are here. But yeah, we'll just do our best to paint the best picture we possibly can.
Yeah. Okay, 15-40, and Medvedev's wrong-footed there. Okay, Jane says she's annoyed now. Nice
Jane
backhand.
is supporting Rublev today.
I think so. Yeah, that's what she mentioned.
I mean, I know she likes both guys, but maybe
Yeah,
just
she
Rublev
wants
is kind of the
Rublev
underdog.
she wants him to get back at Medvedev because he's lost. They've played twice at slams before, lost both in straight sets.
And so, bad news for Andrey. Rublev, you're killing me. He's just been broken. We're at 4-all. What I'm going to do, Shrihari, is I'm going to talk through this next point to give you some idea of how far potentially I'm ahead of you. I think I might be a few seconds ahead, and this will give us a clue as to just how far I'm ahead. Okay, so Medvedev is serving. He goes into the net on the first serve. Second serve here. Clips the net and lands in to the relief of Daniil. Second serve does land in. It's a forehand return from Andrey. Now it's a backhand slice from Andrey Rublev. And he's on the backhand again. Good depth there from Andrey, but so too from Medvedev. They're exchanging forehands right now. They're on the backhand now of each player, moving it around. Who's going to blink first? Daniil Medvedev tries to switch up a little bit, but Andrey deals with it. Now it's Andrey on the slice. Good depth there from Andrey. Good depth, though, from Medvedev. Medvedev goes for the drop shot. It's not probably good enough. As a result, Andrey wins the point. How far am I ahead?
A few seconds, maybe 5 to 10.
Okay.
Yeah, it's still mid-rally here.
What I'll do, therefore, is I'll just chill and feel free to sort of take over.
Now I see the drop shot. And he loses.
Yeah, you're about 30 seconds behind then.
Yeah, it's substantial. Anyway.
He messed up there with that drop shot, basically. I mean, I stopped talking, even though I think there was a couple more shots after the drop shot, but it was the drop shot which cost him the rally in the end.
Yeah, it did. And I would hate for him to lose serve here after getting that break back.
Ghosty, but does not like people standing behind the baseline. He wants 1980s and because he's always telling me what's going on with these guys. They're so deep, they're so far off the court, and I'm like, not everyone. I mean, Caroline Garcia isn't. Olga Runa, when he's returning serve, isn't. Carlos Alcaraz, when he returns a second serve, isn't. Djokovic is not that deep. Probably Djokovic is kind of, would you say he's like the average in terms of his court position?
Yeah, and he moved, and that RG semis against Nadal 2021, we could see that he moved quite a bit back, changed
Okay.
things up. Yeah. But other than that, yeah, usually, and he tries to bluff out some of his opponents. I remember against Shapo in that Wimbledon semis, he was just shuffling around last minute on the second serves. So yeah, like I guess he's not ideal distance from the baseline, Djokovic, and like he's like the. I mean, I read someone wrote this article. He's sort of like the AI's dream player, right? As to how you would model biomechanically a player perfectly. Like he ticks all of those boxes. He can't point to any weakness. Um, oh, the forehand was in. Okay, I thought they went wide.
Yeah. So we have a break
Oh,
point.
they
from
missed the. Oh God, it's 30-15 up, and then. So if Medvedev holds here, is it toast? Is Rublev toast? Like I don't know if he has it in
I
him
love the way
truly.
you use that expression about toast. I saw you using it earlier, I think in a WhatsApp message, but I do like that expression.
Was it on a WhatsApp? Oh yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I think I saw it somewhere anyway. Maybe it was elsewhere, but I know it came from you, and I saw it, and I thought I like it.
Yeah, I've been using it quite
and
a bit. I searched up toast on my WhatsApp messages and fetched quite a few of them.
I think he's toast anyway, because when you go into a match like this,
I see. Medvedev as a game point now. Okay.
yeah, Medvedev does have a game point now. When you go into a match like this, and there's a horrible kind of head-to-head scenario, and you lose the first two sets,
and you're up a break in each of the sets,
and you're up a break, and you relinquish that on 3 consecutive occasions across 3 sets, it doesn't bode well. I mean, it's like, it's like Barcelona under Pep Guardiola playing, I don't know, Leipzig, and Barcelona are leading 3-0 at halftime. If you're Leipzig, you need to be leading at halftime 1-0 or 0-0. If you're down 3-0 at halftime, it's even bigger in a way. If it's Barcelona against Madrid, or if it's, I don't know, Atletico against somebody else of a similar nature, Valencia, then you go, okay, well, it's a long way back, but can happen.
Yeah, it's true. I see the analogy there. Why did he go so long on that back? And the Dasha is quite expressive.
I saw that, yeah. She's funny as well. There's when he does something, in terms of his on-court interview, and you see how she sort of sometimes rolls her eyes, or I can imagine she's at home. One or two people in the audience might be familiar with this show. It's called Curb Your Enthusiasm. And Larry David's wife has an expression that she occasionally uses. She's like, "Oh, Larry," because Larry's done something and he's got in trouble. And she just goes, "Oh, Larry, what is it now?" Because Larry will come home and it'll be like, "How was your night?" And Larry will be like, "It was okay until this moment." And it's like, "Oh, what happened?" And I feel like Dasher is like that with Daniil as he's giving his encore, not in a bad way, but just in a like, I think I know something's coming here. Hi, Nerlan.
Yeah, worth noting that, remember Medvedev was practically a zombie in 2019 and he was still coming through the draw. That was also the years when you sleep tonight, I won because of you. Yeah, and against Lopez, and then it was Kepfer in the 4th round, Wawrinka in the quarters. I did not think he was going to win that. And he even mentioned that he was down 6-3, 2-love against Kepfer, and he was thinking of retiring. The US Open channel, of course, put up extended highlights for that match also, because they played again in 2021, the 2nd round. But yeah, and he beat Wawrinka, and the court, by the way, you would think it would have suited Wawrinka a lot better because it was so slow. in 2019. If you remember that final, Nadal and Medvedev, like they're trying to finish off the point at the net so many times.
Yeah.
But yeah, Medvedev beats Wawrinka pretty comfortably. He was 2 sets up and then he won 4, and then he beat Dimitrov in straight sets and he made the final where he
Yeah.
was 2 sets and a breakdown and he pushes Nadal all the way to the limit. So like that probably, I mean, if he won that slam, that would have been one of his best times. And even Australian Open last year, I mean, he came through Kyrgios, he came through Cressy, and of course, who was it? It was Felix from 2 sets down, saving match point and beating
Tsitsipas
Tsitsipas.
semi-final.
Yeah. That I think it really sort of made the loss like that can definitely dent someone like Medvedev because he had that aura at that time, and then once he lost that final, that's when it started to sort of slide down a little bit, and we started getting into these talks of players figuring out Medvedev, so to speak. But yeah, safe to say that he's sort of gotten it back now. He's had a couple of good runs.
Yeah, you just quickly, sorry to interrupt. You're about to see a horrible decision from Andrey Rublev.
Okay, right.
Just watch as he approaches this quite easy forehand and see which direction he goes.
Right. Okay, I'm watching this. Oh my God.
He's got 2 options there, and let's just say he takes the wrong one. I mean, I know it's one of those again, and this is probably a sign of it being a very tight moment in the match. It's one of those where you take the slightly trickier shot, but you should still make it 80-85% of the time. Or you play it safe and can hit it with a bit more venom, but you are hitting it kind of towards the man. And if he gets a racket on it, you've got another shot to make. And he chose the latter, and he paid the price for it because. And I do think it may well be if that was 1-1 first set, 15-love. I don't think he does that, or at least he does it better. I just think that you're serving to stay in the match. And I was just about to say before this game began, if Andrey can just keep his head, which of course we know is not easy for him, there's no reason why he can't win this set. They're on serve, basically. It's just the scoreboard that's the issue.
Yeah, I see the score now. Okay. Still 2 points away.
Just a quick second, sorry. I'm just wondering about a particular decision that you're about to see as well. Love 30 here on the Rublev serve. We're going to have a VAR decision, by the way. Ghosty, I'm pretty sure, is responding to what I was just talking about that previous point. This VA, it's a clear double bounce, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
I play tennis at an amateur level, so I'm not a professional. But I do think it's not like some people say, "Oh, you know." I don't know if you always do. I mean, there was one with Holger Rune earlier this year in Paris. And I think when the point is happening and there's so many things going on around you, maybe, and this is Federer's argument, you as the opponent, you may be able to see, and you can see the way it comes off the racket. Yeah. But listen, your mind is racing at 1,000,000 miles an hour as well as the ball. So I sometimes but I don't think it's as clear as that. I mean, I'm sometimes hitting the ball, and I don't know. There was a shot. There was a shot a couple of days ago from, or it might have been last night even. I think it was Tiafoe, and I think it was a double hit of the racket, if you like, as in like it was a miss hit, and I think it skimmed the strings and then the frame, if that makes sense. But again, you mishit it. You got no idea. You just mishit it, and it comes off your racket, and it's weird. And that's all you can say. Anyway, Andrey's looking a bit better right now in terms of this game.
Yeah, I see that now. This would be a huge escape if he gets
Huge, and it could give him confidence for the remainder of the set. Medi called. Oh, I see, Ghosty. Thank you for that. I wasn't aware, but the umpire. Ah, that's really cool. I mean, the umpire should have caught that because I think it was quite clear in normal time. But
okay, that's nice.
my understanding from what Ghosty said, and Ghosty, I take everything back about some of your confusing messages throughout the US Open. You're back on par. We're back on serve now after that miraculous recovery regarding this one, because this is not quite clear for me from Ghosty. He's saying that basically the umpire, I think, had given the point to or had not called it, but Medvedev is going, I think it bounced twice. Yeah, you're probably right, Ghosty. So I think that's Medvedev saying, "Oh, by the way, I think there was a double bounce there."
Mhm.
From Ghosty's analysis here, nice guys finish last, as in nice guys don't win slams. I kind of know what you mean. I do think there's a is it Mary Carrillo who talks about fangs and the big three, and they've got fangs, and you know, they don't take any prisoners. Well, you're about to see an important point at deuce. I'm going to find a different stream that might be a few seconds behind this one, and therefore, hopefully, we'll be on a par. We'll be on the same moment.
Oh, what has Rublev done there?
I know. It wasn't quite as blatant to me, but maybe I'd have to see the point again. Bless him. I just think a bit like with Pegula, for very different reasons. I do think there's just that maybe it's just a level as well with both players. I do think with Pegula sometimes, and Andrey, there's a bit of anxiety. And her exit in the fourth round, to be honest with you, it's why.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it's a nice ace. I mean, her exit in the fourth round, and Andrey can get to fourth rounds, quarters, or semis. You know, Sinner, for example, got to the semis at Wimbledon, but that was because he had a rather kind draw. So I just think with these guys, and probably Sinner will go on to win a slam one day, so I have a bit more confidence in him than Pegula and Rublev. But I do think it's a level, and it is a mixture of the two. It is level and it is pressure.
What a double fault.
I know.
It was not a good one. I mean, that was a nice ace to save the match point. But yeah, I don't know why he's not going out wide. I mean, that serve worked wonders for him when they played in Turin last year. But here's another match point.
It's a pretty cool point. I'm just switching to maybe a different provider, and therefore we'll be in sync. I mean, I don't even mind being 5 seconds behind you because that means I can talk through the points.
Yeah. Ooh, nice match point save from Rublev.
Really nice. I'm going to talk us through this deuce point now,
Right.
because I'm now tuning into a different channel. Okay, Rublev to serve, backhand return. This time Rublev gets in at least. That's a step up from that double fault from a couple of points ago. And it's Andrey's in big trouble here because it's being stepped up from Medvedev. And it's another match point. Am I still ahead of you?
That was a nice backhand.
Am I still ahead of you, or are we about the same?
Oh, no, I muted you for this point. So
okay, I thought I might be the same level. I thought it might be the same
yeah,
level.
that's fine. I mean, you can take that way. You can take everyone through the point, and I can.
Rublev here serves, but it clips the net. I've switched streams to maybe be a bit slower. You see? Okay. Third match point for Daniil Medvedev. Rublev to serve. Down the tee, goes aggressive on that second serve. And he reaps the reward down the tee. Deuce number 4. For those of you just tuning in, make sure you hit the like button. And if you are new to the channel,
It
please
was not a long game.
Yeah, we have. I listen, Shree, I might be at the same point as you. I don't know now. I don't know.
I know I'm a bit behind, I think.
You sure?
Yeah.
I've got a forehand from Mehdi and a backhand from Andrey. Forehand. Tell me when the point is done. Point not done yet?
Yeah, Medvedev's just missed for me. So.
Okay. Yeah, I am still ahead of you then.
Yeah,
All right,
that's fine.
listen, do you want to put me on mute? Or even just go backstage until the end of this game and then just come back?
I'll do that. I'll do that.
Go
I'll join.
backstage.
Yeah.
And just as soon as you come front stage, then just tell me what you think. Okay, I'm back on my TV, and Andrey Rublev is serving with a game point. And it's on the backhand of Mehdi. Now it's forehand Medvedev. Backhand Medvedev. Medvedev is in charge of this rally. Should win the point from here, but not bad defense from Andrey. Andrey being made to run all over the court. Lovely net clearance there, Andrey, to be fair. And now they're probably at neutral. But has Andrey got the energy to get back into this point as well? And no, probably not. He's gone long with a forehand. Damien will be with us later on. He'll be joining me for Alcaraz against Zverev. And we have Matthew as well, bringing us Madison Keys against Vondrousova. Okay, 18 people tuning in right now. Please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Rublev goes into the net on the first serve. This is turning into a pretty epic game. Oh, it's a double fault, Andrey, the second one of this game. He does look puffed out, bless him. I mean, he went 4 sets with Draper. Is this going to be another quarterfinal defeat for Rublev and also one at the hands of his friend Medvedev? Jane says she can't. I don't know what that means. I can't watch. I can't listen. I can't bear this. I can't all of the above. Match point number 4. Medvedev on the return. Backhand. No. Clips the net. Ghosty there. I guess you're responding to the double fault. Backhand return. Forehand Andrey. Not bad. But it's pressure times now. Pushing Mehdi all over the court. Mehdi now backhand. Forehand Rublev. Nice change of direction and pace, but it's not enough to win the point. Medvedev on the defensive. Lovely, lovely, lovely Andrey Rublev. Given the pressure, that was good, Andrey. A lot of guts there. Hats off to you. You are a tennis player, Andrey Rublev. Don't you forget it. I don't know what we are, Ghosty. Just mere mortals. And we don't, we do remember that. We're reminded of that every day. Okay. Rublev to serve. Into the net. Backhand return. Forehand Ruby. Forehand Mehdi. Backhand now. Forehand Mehdi. Forehand Mehdi again. Forehand Rublev is wild and wide. We have another match point number 5. Match point number 5, 2 hours 47 minutes on the clock, approaching 10 to 5 local time, 10 to 10 in the UK and in Portugal, by the way. 10 to 10, I always call that cowboy time because it's 10 to 10 to 10, 10, 10, 10 to 10 to 10, 10, 10. What do we think about that? You didn't expect to hear that on a tennis commentary. Okay, match point here. Medi on the backhand. Forehand Andrey. Andrey's doing it again, but Medvedev is back in this rally. We're at neutral. Oh, no. Forehand into the net. Medvedev has won. Straight sets. Rublev just can't believe it. I mean, he probably should believe it, but it's the same story again. Okay, so I'm sure we'll have Shuhui coming back in a few minutes to give us his thoughts on this 14 minutes plus game. Well, I mean, listen, it's what got us here that is most important. I know you might go, well, Andrey double faulted a couple of times in that game, but he was love 30 down. He then gets it back to 40-30. He does save 4 or 5 match points. You know, for a lot of players, we might go, wow, this is guts. This is great. He did well in that last game, particularly if it was earlier in his career. You know, we might go, you know what, this has been a great fight from a guy. But unfortunately, it's now, I don't know, I'm sure Shuhui will remind us, it's 7 or 8 semi-finals. All sorts of interesting characters there, Jane. I'm assuming that means frustration. It is sad watching him go off court like that, yeah. I remember speaking to Brian just under a year ago. I wonder what he's thinking right now. I remember speaking to Brian just under a year ago. By the way, my internet seems quite weak. I don't know if I'm coming through loud and clear. Hopefully I am. Sure. Give me your thoughts on that final game to begin with.
I mean, Medvedev would be absolutely elated to get through that because, I mean, 5 match points, another lung buster. I mean, there were some long games in that third set, especially the one, I think, third game where it was 13 minutes long, where Rublev went up a break. Yeah, so I mean, you know, he had all those opportunities. It's a couple of points where he should have. I mean, yeah, Rublev, what do you call it? Sort of got out of jail especially that forehand pass that we saw first. I think the second match point, and there was the other one, the more recent one that he saved with the forehand drive volley. But yeah, and then
yeah, I like that drive volley because that was a match point, and it's really tough to keep your cool with that drive volley because it's I think smashes as well, especially if they're high in the air. But I think drive volleys too, maybe even drive volleys more so, just because technically it's a more difficult shot. It's the most nerve-wracking shot for me in tennis, maybe. Maybe you could say the serve because you've got that long period to build up and think about it. A lot of other points can be quite instinctive. But the drive volley is a technically difficult shot and one you have a lot of time to think about. So that's what you don't want. You want to be as instinctive as you can when the pressure's on at its most. And I'm sure your heart is in your mouth. I was really impressed with him in that point. And I was quite impressed with him in that last game. I know he double faulted twice, but the problem is the age now with Andrey and the history. So it's how many quarterfinals is that, Shuhui? 9. Yeah, he had the weight of 9 quarterfinals as he walked off court.
Yeah, that's there for sure. And he has been pretty unlucky because he's not. I mean, whenever he's gotten to the quarters, he's not really been a beneficiary of any draw collapse. If you notice, he had Cilic, who peaked out of his brains for that one tournament, and then of course Tiafoe, who was redlining, and we know Tiafoe beat him consecutive years, and Rublev also was crying last year when he.
I was at that match. Yeah, it was sad.
And that was when the channel was new. I remember. Also, that, and then the couple of times where he had Novak. Then of course Daniil thrice now. Tsitsipas at RG. I think maybe that he would want back maybe because he was serving for the first set. He'd just beaten Steph.
2020, you mean?
Yeah, he beat Steph in that Hamburg final, and then he served for the
Yeah, and
first
I
set.
think I predicted him to win that one, Ruby, because of the Hamburg thing.
Right. Is that Darren Cahill interviewing?
Yeah, I wondered who that was. I actually recognized him with a baseball cap on when Yannick Sinner's playing, but I don't
Yeah.
with a microphone in the hand on
Yeah,
the court.
Cahill and Brad Gilbert, both of them not only serving as coaches, but they're
Yeah. I mean, obviously Cahill's got a bit more time on his hands now.
Yep. Only good thing.
I can hear you.
The only good thing is that both suffer.
And yeah, I do think, as you say, there were some ups and downs, but that's so normal. I mean, honestly, at the end of the first set, I kind of couldn't see the ball anymore. The sensations, you just try to go for it, try to run, try to catch the balls, and he did the same. Sometimes before the point, I was like, wow, it seems like he cannot run anymore. So I tried to do one and one and one and one and one, and he was there all the time. I was like, damn, when is he going to be tired? But actually, we were tired all the time. So yeah, brutal conditions and super tough to win, yeah.
What about the fighting spirit of your opponent? You know him better than anyone. He's the godfather to your daughter. Did you ever think, man, just give up? Let me win this one in straight sets?
No, I know he never gives up, but the thing is that he knows I never do. A few moments in the third set, I think he was up a break 2 or 3 times. I was like, well, at least there is a 10-minute break. I couldn't wait to go to the cold shower. And the thing about the cold shower, apparently from what I heard, is when you come out after the cold shower, it's either you cannot move your block, like your body blocks, or you feel better. But I was like, I don't care. I just go cold shower and I see you and what happens. Luckily didn't need to do it, so I'm gonna go now.
So you're willing to take the risk. I love it. You're the 2021 US Open champion. You loved playing here. I know you weren't entirely happy with your form coming into this tournament, but where do you rate your tennis right now? Because it seems to be spectacular.
10 out of 10. I played.
He's so unpredictable.
Started O'Connell. Honestly, guys, don't give me anything. Like, I don't know. I mean, that's normal. They want to win, but starting from O'Connell third set, they don't want to give me anything, and every match was a hell of a fight. And I'm through to the semis, so that's great. Looking forward to the match tonight.
He's in a good mood.
And then to prepare for the winner.
All right, we're not going to take up any more of your time. Get into the locker room, get into the ice bath. Through to another semi-final of the US Open, Daniil Medvedev.
Okay. Well, I guess no surprises in the result. Maybe 1 or 2 surprises in how we got there with all those breaks that Rublev had to get.
If only Tiafoe kept it together yesterday, I would have had 3 out of 3 so far.
Right.
I know one is gone. I had Sinner, and he lost to Zverev. So
yeah, you're talking about your quarterfinal lineups.
Yeah, my quarterfinal lineup. It should be in one of those banners.
I think it is. I've got it here. Yeah. So you had Alcaraz, Sinner, Medvedev, Hurkacz, Paul Tiafoe, Djokovic. What was your ratio in the end? Like 4 out of 8, was it? 1, 2, 3.
Yeah,
4,
yeah. It was a 50%, and 50% for the semis also. I have Djokovic and Medvedev.
I maybe don't have it written down here, but I can tell you who my quarterfinals were. I had Alcaraz, Sinner. I had Davidovich, Fokina, Korda. I had Fritz, Djokovic, and what was the other section? Medvedev. I had Medvedev definitely, but I don't think I had Rublev. I just can't remember who I had Medvedev beating. Oh, I had Hurkacz. Yeah, I had Hurkacz as well.
Yeah. Hurkacz, Tsitsipas. I mean, this the second round. And of course.
I mean, listen. There's only 2 people really. Maybe Sinner, maybe Medvedev. Well, okay, yes. Let's go 4. There's only 4 people with a track record at the US Open, and Sinner's track record is not quite as lengthy as Alcaraz, Djokovic, and Medvedev. Yeah. But therefore, what that means is the other 4 players that you're choosing in your quarterfinals are going to be like, what? Well, he's not done that before. Or really, you think his Tsitsipas is going to get over his New York hump or whatever?
I thought. I mean, with the draw, what do you call it, with the draw, I was like, okay, this is decent. He only has Raonic, really. I didn't think Eubanks would get there. I had Bonzi or Halis. I had Halis beating Eubanks. And I didn't think, I had Stricker. He should have beaten Stricker. He served for the match. He was 2 points away. Like, this is what people tend to forget. His match against Alcaraz in 21, his match against Chorich in 2020. Like, I know in hindsight, you can go back and say, oh, yeah, you picked Tsitsipas to make the quarters. That's on you. But you look at these matches, he should have won them. All of them. Really.
Yeah.
The Alcaraz match also, like, he had no business losing the third set from the position he was in. He was 2 breaks up, 2 set points serving for it. Why and how are you losing from there? Then, of course, okay, the tiebreaker, all right, Alcaraz just braver. He managed to beat him there. Since then, none of their matches have been remotely close. Let's put it that way. And then Galan, yeah, I get it. That was a complete brain fade, and he was atrocious. He lost 6-0. Yeah, there's no explaining such losses. He was terrible. But this adds up to baggage, and I thought this is the year he gets. That's the only thing stopping him, because he's a good hard courter. Otherwise, this is the only big event where he's not made at least the quarterfinals on the entire tour. In Sunshine Double, yeah, he's not made it past the quarters. He's made it past the semis, but better at each of the others. Final in Australian Open, semis in Bercy, semis in Shanghai, final in Canada, Cincinnati, won the ATP finals. What reason is there for him to flop this much at the US Open year after year after year? So maybe next year, who knows? I'll probably pick him again depending on the draw. I have no idea. But at some point, you just wonder, right? I don't know.
Oh, I can see Medvedev taking his inhaler, actually, although that might be a repeat. It's just from during the match. So he had to use his inhaler at one point, did he?
Yeah, twice.
Yeah. Pegula and Coco lost their doubles. Okay, so it's been a pretty rough tournament then for Pegula.
Yep, it was.
I'm just downloading a video from Anastasia that she's shared, so I'll play that at the end, which is coming right now, as Ghosty says here, right on cue. Thanks, John. Thanks, Tom, and thanks, Srihari. Srihari in particular, obviously sailing us through the entire match, as well as the match before, which was a comfortable win for Sabalenka. I didn't see any of that.
Yeah, it was really, really comfortable. And yeah, thanks, Ghosty. It was always a pleasure to have you here. I mean, he keeps us going, right? He
does keep us going for sure. So Jane as well, both of them, honestly, I know that they're both members, and I know that they both donate to the channel as well, but more than anything else, I want to say that their energy and their enthusiasm.
The two are always on some lookout to make some sort of R-rated jokes also. Like, I remember it was 1 second serve of Rublev was 69 miles per hour. There was a comment from one of the two or both. And even before that, I remember. So, like, yeah, both of them. And I remember once Jane used the wrong emoji as well. And yeah, it was me, and who was it? Was it Damien, or I don't think it was Nick or someone else? But yeah, oh no, Jethro. It was Jethro. Yeah, a couple of days ago when we covered. What matches did we cover again? I completely forgot. Alcaraz was in. Yeah, Alcaraz and Arnaldi. Oh no, it was another match.
Yeah, could have been. Don't know. I know Alcaraz Arnaldi, I think, was with Tom, but yeah, you and Srihari were. So you and Jethro were on a stream recently. This video is downloading quite slowly, but fingers crossed it'll happen in the next minute or two. So, big thanks to you as well, Srihari. Just to let everyone know, make sure you hit the like button, make sure you subscribe as well. What else did I want to say? Oh, yeah, so we've got a live commentary coming up again in 2 hours from now, which will be for Madison Keys against Vondrousova. Matthew, the new boy, will be doing that match on the commentaries, and then we'll have Damien and me as well, I think, for the last match, which is Zverev Alcaraz, and then of course tomorrow and Friday semi-finals. And I think, hopefully, as I said a couple of days ago, as we entered the fourth round and the quarterfinals, I said pretty much every match will be on the channel. Now, of course, with the fourth rounds, there were some matches that were overlapping. I remember Draper against Rublev, for example, was on at the same time as another match. I think it may have been Alcaraz-Arnaldi, actually. When we began with Alcaraz-Arnaldi, but we finished on Draper-Rublev because that went to 4. So, yeah, and I'm pretty optimistic from now on in we'll have every match on the channel one way or another. So, yeah. Jane, thank you as well. This video is still downloading. Listen, Shrewi, I'll let you go into the night because I think, what time is it where you are? 1 a.m.?
1 a.m., yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, I'll let you go now because you can head off. This video is still downloading, but it is going to be here in the next minute or so. But you may as well head off now unless you have any final words to share on today's action.
Yeah, I think we spoke quite a bit. Rublev losing his 9th consecutive quarters, and the context behind each of the losses. He's facing formidable opposition, so I don't know when he'll catch his break. We thought it was against, say, Tiafoe or Cilic last year, but then they played amazingly. So again, he's really not got that break yet. Again, it's about circumstances as well. Like someone like Rude, for example, I know people like to use him as a punching bag, but he has. Who did he have in the quarters last? No, he didn't have it easy particularly either. He had Runa twice and Berrettini. So I wouldn't say that's easy, but right, Runa in 2022. Easier than, I guess, most players Rublev has faced. Who else? Shelton at Tiafoe. Shelton beat him. So it is kind of odd that there are players like Tommy Paul, Ben Shelton, who have made semis at slams, not Rublev yet. I just hope.
I agree. I just think that there's a few things going on. As I said with Pegula as well, I don't think that these players are waking up and on the day it's the quarterfinals, they go, oh no, it's the quarterfinals. I think it's a mixture of things. I think it's the pressure of the occasion. Now that might occur to you in the 3rd or the 4th round, or it might occur to you in the semi-finals, but it's happening to you somewhere along the line, and your talent will get you through the first couple of rounds most likely. But equally, it'll also be probably your talent as well as maybe some anxiety that stops you from going super far, i.e. a final. You know, you could put me in a Grand Slam and go, oh, he's got a qualifying problem, has John? And it's like, what do you mean? He's always going out in the qualifiers. Yeah, because he's not good enough. So it's not like I wake up on the day of my first round of qualifying and I go, oh, no, it's the big day today. Maybe I do as well. Maybe it's a bit of both. But it's probably also at the level too.
Yeah, probably. And I had him losing to Bublik in Wimbledon, but he came through that.
Yeah, he came through that, which is great for him. You know, I had him losing to Bublik too.
Yeah, he did well against Novak. Like, pretty commendable the way he performed in that match for sure.
Did he get a set with Novak?
Yeah, he took the first set. Played really well. Took 6-4. It was 4-6, 6-1, 6-4, 6-3, something like that. He kept up with Novak quite a bit. Djokovic was in a sticky situation in the 3rd set. He was facing break points for Rublev to draw level. You just never know, right? I don't think he would have won, but probably at least maybe 5 sets if Novak did not raise his level. Where else? RG. I want to look back at, and maybe he would have gotten Novak there too, right? He was in that same quarter. He lost to Sonego, lost to Khachanov. So, probably would have lost to Novak there too. Quite unlucky in this sense. Maybe, I don't know what happened. He did beat Rude the most recent match that they played, right? So maybe at some point, if he gets someone like Rude, not going to happen now because Rude has taken a tumble in the rankings. So Holger, say he was in Holger's quarter, maybe he would have, or would he have gotten one of Tiafoe or Shelton, whatever. I don't know, but we'll see. He's too good a player to not even have made one semis at a slam. That's all I think.
Yeah, he may well make a semi, like Sinner did at Wimbledon this year. He may well come across somebody. Who did Sinner play in the quarters at Wimbledon this year? And it was like, oh, okay. Safiullin, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So that may happen, and he may get a nice quarterfinal, and we'll go, oh, okay, he's finally over that. The quarterfinal problem doesn't exist anymore. Yeah. That could happen, but it probably won't change much. He'll just go out in the semis to probably a better player. Listen, that video has now dropped, so I'll play that out. Shrewi, big thanks for joining us today. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and all that other stuff.
Sure. See you soon.
See you soon, Shrehui.
Yes, good luck. See you.
Day 9. I did it so you don't have to. This was truly the toughest tennis watching conditions I've ever experienced. Did you know you can see the length of Manhattan from the highest point on Ash? Well, now you do. I did it so you don't have to. This was truly the toughest tennis watching conditions I've ever experienced. Did you know you can see the length of Manhattan from the highest point on Ash? Well, now you do. As tennis watching venues go, Ash is not my favorite. I prefer smaller, more intimate courts and medium-sized stadiums. I will miss Louis Armstrong. But starting today, all singles matches are now on Ash only. First up on Ash for the night session was Karolina Muchova versus Soraya Cristea. Although some games were long, Cristea was no match for Muchova, who took the first set 6-love. And although her right forehand was taped, it didn't seem to affect her hitting. A consistent Muchova is now a US Open semifinalist. Then it was time for the main event, Ben Shelton versus Frances Tiafoe. It felt like a WWE match. Every time Ben would serve, everyone would look at the speed clock. Tiafoe looked good in moments, but I guess wasn't ready to die on court like he proclaimed earlier on this tournament. Ben Shelton put on a show. If you had told me at the start of this tournament that Ben Shelton would be the one American who made it through, I would not have believed you. But here's looking at you, kid, and good luck with Novak. Day 9. I did it so you don't have to. This was truly the toughest tennis watching conditions I've ever experienced. Did you know you can see the length of Manhattan from the highest point on Ash? Well, now you do. As tennis watching venues go, Ash is not my favorite. I prefer smaller, more intimate courts and medium-sized stadiums. I will miss Louis Armstrong. But starting today, all singles matches are now on Ash only. First up on Ash for the night session was Karolina Muchova versus Soraya Cristea. Although some games were long, Cristea was no match for Muchova, who took the first set 6-love. And although her right forehand was taped, it didn't seem to affect her hitting. A consistent Muchova is now a US Open semifinalist. Then it was time for the main event, Ben Shelton versus Frances Tiafoe. It felt like a WWE match. Every time Ben would serve, everyone would look at the speed clock. Tiafoe looked good in moments, but I guess wasn't ready to die on court like he proclaimed earlier on this tournament. Ben Shelton put on a show. If you had told me at the start of this tournament that Ben Shelton would be the one American who made it through, I would not have believed you. But here's looking at you, kid, and good luck with Novak. Day 9. I did it so you don't have to. This was truly the toughest tennis watching conditions I've ever experienced. Did you know you can see the length of Manhattan from the highest point on Ash? Well, now you do. As tennis watching venues go, Ash is not my favorite. I prefer smaller, more intimate courts and medium-sized stadiums. I will miss Louis Armstrong. But starting today, all singles matches are now on Ash only. First up on Ash for the night session was Karolina Muchova versus Soraya Cristea. Although some games were long, Cristea was no match for Muchova, who took the first set 6-love. And although her right forehand was taped, it didn't seem to affect her hitting. A consistent Muchova is now a US Open semifinalist. Then it was time for the main event, Ben Shelton versus Frances Tiafoe. It felt like a WWE match. Every time Ben would serve, everyone would look at the speed clock. Tiafoe looked good in moments, but I guess wasn't ready to die on court like he proclaimed earlier on this tournament. Ben Shelton put on a show. If you had told me at the start of this tournament that Ben Shelton would be the one American who made it through, I would not have believed you. But here's looking at you, kid, and good luck with Novak.